Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you?
I am doing okay.
Great. How far from your microphone are you?
I'm a little bit farther. I can get closer.
Oh, yeah. Nice and intimate.
Nice and intimate.
There you go.
Alright.
Cool. It's better for quality and
Yeah, I understand.
works better for YouTube and shit. Okay. Okay, this one's getting loud. Fuck off.
Did you get everything from the album? Did that work out?
Yeah, looks pretty complete. We'll probably find the one thing you forgot somewhere along the way, because there's everyone always just forgets one thing.
Yeah, I figured.
God, you guys. All right. So, what do we have? We have a Kanna that's looking like it a lot. Sure looks a lot like a Kanna.
Yeah. 241 right now.
Oh, that was you, that cute Jizaku. Thanks.
My bad. I was trying to do dailies or like weeklies as well.
I see. Okay. So
I got from like 2K Legion to 6K Legion within like 2.5 weeks. So I still don't have enough coins for 6K board, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You went hard with Umbra, or did you do a little bit of Surge as well?
So I did 2 weeks of Umbra, and I got everything to 140, and then I did 1 week, and I got 3 210s.
Okay.
So I got Phantom, Luminous, and Arc.
Okay.
And I got the main fan the day I asked for the video. So
Oh, okay, cool.
I had like a T6 plus flame, I think.
Since you have the different, I'm just looking through the pictures. Since you have the different, the other picture than what most people usually send for the Matrix, the other one, do you have all your Matrix points assigned?
Yeah.
Because that's something that people sometimes forget. Okay. You can see in this other picture. You can see if the things are leveled up, right? You don't see the rims around it because it's just shiny and green. So are you maining Kanna? Is this
so
the one for you?
When I first started this game, I was trying to make a hero, and then I heard that like funding a Kanna would be a good way to go about it. And then I don't like farming with a hero at all, so I'm just sticking with a Kanna.
Sure.
This account's only like 3 months old, so like I'm still learning some things every day.
That's good.
It's not too bad.
I mean,
I'm trying to get to H Lucid and H Will within like 4 months. Like that's like my goal. If that makes any sense, and if that makes it easier.
Yeah, we could talk. So this is going to be your main. So you're aiming right now. You're aiming for hard Lucid, hard Will.
Yeah,
and if
I know it's going to be like a long goal. So
okay, well, it's good. I mean, it's good to have some long goals. You know what you're aiming for.
Yeah, and like I know what I'm gonna be doing for like for the next month and a half. So I have full drop rings, but I boomed my superior ring, right?
I saw a trace there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's even worse because I have 3 Meister rings I can make. I just didn't make it. So,
you got greedy or forgot to click or?
Nah, I just got greedy, man. Because that was my first boom. Yeah, it happens. But next event, I should be able to get the ring and then make my rings and not transfer over. That's probably what I'll do.
So you mean that you have 3 primals? Is that what you mean?
3 primals?
Because you said you can make 3 Meisters, so.
Yeah. No, I have 4 right now.
Oh, 4. Oh, yeah, I see.
But I also have 42 droplets right now. That picture was from yesterday, so I was farming a little bit.
Wait, 42?
Yeah.
You got 9 in a day?
Yeah.
Okay. That's like insane, but okay.
What's it called?
Usually I get like 2 if I do like a big training session.
Uh, well, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
fairly lucky, I guess, so far. I know one thing that's limiting me from like H Lucid and H Will is Arcane Force. I'm at 850 right now, so
Okay.
that's why I said I want to do it in like 3 to 4 months because
Yeah, there's a
the
time gate
Arcane
there, of
Force.
course. Yep.
Yeah. Um,
But for
I
Hard
was
Lucid, it wouldn't
rolling.
be limiting, right? Hard Lucid is just also just 540, but for Will, for bonus damage, is 1140.
Yeah, my goal is just finding a party that can do both.
Yep.
That way, I don't have to worry about it either way.
Yep.
I don't have a good heart and I don't have a good badge. I don't know if that's going to be like anything limiting so far,
No,
but
that's normal. It's normal. Hearts are just a shitty slot. There's supposed to be a fairy heart coming. At least KMS had a fairy heart in their shop in the winters, in summer. So we should be getting that was this winter, hopefully. Which will be a higher tier that you can commit more into. It'll be the same tier, like where you can get 1299, and Heart has one
yeah,
of the lowest amount of junk lines, so that should be a
yeah.
relatively cheap upgrade.
I have the heart at unique and 2 lines of
Yeah,
2%.
yeah, that's fine for now. You can just keep that and then just wait
Yeah.
for until we get a good one.
Everything else I have besides my hat is legendary. So
Mm-hmm.
I plan on going Arcane Force weapon, so I don't know if I should just not put any more resources into my CRA hat and then transfer over to an Abso hat, and that would work better.
Yeah. So if you're going for Arcane, so what is your reason for going Arcane? Because you think you
Arcane
can
weapon, that's it.
just weapon?
Yeah.
Well, the sooner you start running boss fights, the sooner you'll be having
I already
chances.
have one Lucid Soul, and I did easy yesterday, or like last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a normal party for today.
Neural party, okay.
So
Because in my experience, parties don't mind taking Kannas along as long as they have max domain. They know the mechanics, and they don't go into like the loot rotation for the belt or the book. They don't mind taking them along, which gives you a pretty high chance of getting pretty high chance. It gives you a chance of getting arcane drops, and also since though I'm pretty sure this is kind of like I don't know, like anecdotal evidence, I guess, but pretty sure that since the fan is both your main and your secondary weapon, it seems like you have twice the chance of getting fans to drop, because a lot of Kannas in a lot of my runs have been getting fans like all the time.
okay.
And I'm not sure if this is because every run always has a Kanna, therefore the chance is higher that a Kanna is the one who gets the drop. But I think because for dual blade they can both get like the Katara and the weapon, and they kind of have like two chances. I think it works the same for Kanna, where it's programmed as both the drop and the weapon and the secondary. That's kind of what it feels like.
I won't believe it until I see it, but
Yeah, but well,
yeah.
kind of what I'm getting at with that is that maybe it would be because you don't need to be like super strong and completely decked out, and need like
Yep.
insane burst on your Kanna to be able to participate and start practicing in these boss fights. So if you can initially get a party that is like okay with it being like one of your first times, maybe you join as the second Kanna or something, so that they have like a backup in case shit hits the fan.
Yeah. Well, like right now I have a normal party,
Hmm.
so I'd rather just take that since
For
it's
just
like
Lucid or also
yeah,
Will?
for just Lucid,
Yeah.
not for Will. I should probably start looking for something for Will, but I haven't, so probably plan on doing that within a week or two.
But you're training a lot and you're leveling a lot?
Uh, yeah, I took like a 3 week break from my Kanna to like level up Legion.
Yep.
So still getting used to everything else. And I got to level 240, and my gloves got decent sharp, so I have a lot more keybinds that I have to like relearn and reassess and everything along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoy it. So it's a different, like, it's a more fun farm class, and I feel like that's what I'm spending most of my time on rather than bossing. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't mind it during bossing either. So
Okay.
it's not bad.
Yeah. In my experience, it's been pretty so it's typically pretty tricky to find normal will parties or like practice normal will parties because people a lot of the time they will do Lucid at a pretty low level. Well, they'll do Lucid at like 230, 235, 240 because of the level of Lucid. But since Will is level 250, a lot of people won't start doing that until they're actually like at 250 or even beyond. And by that time, if you keep progressing through the game, you will kind of be at the point where you can hang on, someone just subscribed but the alert didn't go off. Quinn, thank you.
So do you recommend waiting to 245?
Yeah, like 245. So, but you could do practice runs, and like especially on your Kanna, you can do practice runs earlier than that, right? Your main value is in binding, domaining, putting the like barrier down, the pseudo shell. In Lucid, you can go even in hard Lucid. If you do the cleansing, you do a lot of the call outs. Like you take a very like organizing role. It doesn't matter that you're not putting in the damage yourself. You're allowing the other people to do way more damage because of domain and the binds and everything, and the barriers. So as long as you're up to speed with the mechanics and everything. And for Will, I feel like you can read up on the mechanics all you want. You have to just get in there and just die a bunch of times to figure out like where can I stand, where can I not stand, what am I supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the videos. Just hard finding a team. I don't know, like.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So I think the sooner you start like looking for that, the better. Because if you are leveling a lot and farming a lot and training a lot, by the time you get that party, you might already be at 245 or something. Like if you keep going hard, it might take like a few weeks to find a party.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much where I'm at. I think I'll hit 245 within 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's too much of an
Mm-hmm.
reach or anything. I got a level like just from yesterday.
So have you put some feelers out? Like, have you asked in the chat? Have you joined Discords or have you checked with your guilds, stuff like that?
My guild mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having fairly good results with that. So I had like a low main team or like where I like did it every week and it worked out fine.
Mm-hmm.
I got full APSO and everything, but now I can solo. So.
And the rest of your party, can they also solo and are they also moving on or?
So the one person that I like still keep in contact with, yeah, he can too. So I plan on doing like Lucid with him, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I didn't know anybody else, so
okay. Yeah, there's like a small group of people in the chat. I think like 5 to 10 people who are kind of at the point. They started a while ago, like struggling CRA together, and now they're all basically soloing Lotus and Demon as well, and moving into Lucid territory, trying to do normal Lucid now, and then hopefully into Will soon after. Yeah. But yeah, as a Kanna, you kind of like move in front of the pack because you're not bound by these stat and arcane power limitations as much, so you can kind of just like cheat and skip ahead.
I still had to wait for to level up Legion because it's Legion, but I have 6K right now. I want to know when would be the right time to approach 8K. I think when I have enough potential scrolls and just funding for it. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, so typically what I would so having like a stack of potential scrolls and stamps is always nice. There's a lot of value in that. Usually what I slowly start doing is whatever character I know that I want to get to 200, I'll slowly start gathering. I'll just do like normal Hilla like every day or so, or like every other day, just to slowly start gathering Necro gear with some nice flames. And then from your main, when you do some bosses, if you get like Master Craftsman cubes, at a certain point they have no value anymore for your main character, right? They're just they're just used to get things up to epic, and then just like slowly get everything up to epic. Try to get like 6% or 9% with occult cubes. You're probably stacking up a decent amount of occult cubes at this point as well.
I think so.
I see 600 here. I don't know if you have more somewhere else, but
Yeah, I have like 30,000 somewhere else.
yeah, exactly. You can start building up a lot, and then slowly as a character kind of gets to the point where it's kind of funded. It doesn't feel like you've thrown like 2 or 3 bill at it, but you just slowly taken the resources that don't have really any value anywhere else and just all concentrated them on this one character, right? So that's usually how I slowly like fund characters. And then if you actually want to just Star Force it, that's typically like 300, maybe 400 mil or something, and that'll be like enough to get into 200. And if you make sure that you have a pet for that, and you loot regularly, you should make almost that money back all the way up to 200, and then you just invest that money into the next one again, and then you just keep doing it like that.
Yeah, so I have somebody I can trade Hard Hello with for pets.
Mm-hmm.
So don't have an issue with trades for pretty much anything of the lower tier bosses.
That's also good for more necro gear as well. That'll give you an extra like a double up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually I just like to slowly do that like on the side and prioritize, of course, the characters that have very good Legion buffs for 200 and potentially even that you might want to get to 210 and prioritize those. Those will speed up the whole process. So which ones did you get to level 210? Are those the experience links or?
No, Arc, Phantom, and Luminous.
Okay, yeah. So more bossing oriented. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I just wanted more stat, and I figured Arc will help me level up anyways. Like
yeah, Arc is good. Yeah, definitely all around a very good link skill. Yeah, if you're aiming for 8K, I would prioritize the your trifecta of experienced dudes, right? The Mercedes, the Evan, and the Aaron.
Yeah, and those will be the next 3 that I go for once I make the run for it. It's just I hate training Mercedes. It hurts my heart.
No, I get it. I usually just jump around with Leaf Tornado because it's simpler. You look for more horizontal maps rather than vertical maps. If you're in a vertical map, you can just you could very easily just helicopter up, right? But if that's like too many inputs and doesn't feel good, then just looking for a horizontal map instead and just jumping around with Leaf Tornado is also pretty good because Leaf Tornado does get pretty strong once you get a little bit of funding into your character.
I'm also gonna throw like 3 bill into it just because I hate it so much.
I mean, one shot. When you get to 200 though, it gets a lot better. I like the 5th job a lot for Mercedes. I hated it before 200. As much as the next guy, maybe even more so. But the level, once you get to level 200, 5th job does feel a lot better, in my opinion.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's true. I mean, I really like the Arc, which was weird because it was like, it's also very much like very button heavy class.
Yeah, it starts rough, right? I didn't like it in the beginning either, but it kind of grows on me. I don't know.
It was okay from the beginning. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Kadena as well. I just don't like Blaster or Mercedes.
Okay.
I feel like the repetitive keystroke is what affects more than just pressing, just like having a lot of keys, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a difference between a lot of keys, but they're all different, or a lot of keys and they're all always the same ones.
Yeah. At least with Kanna, like a lot of the damage comes from costing guys and like Tengu, so you can press one button and focus on other things.
Yeah, and you have a lot of passive like effects flying around, also killing things that you don't have to actively fire at.
Yeah, just micromanaging like your summons, your domain, your bind, and everything else. But at this point, I've been playing it for 2 months, so it comes pretty easily.
You've got a decent idea now.
Yeah. What's it called? I think should I just wait for an event is what I meant for pushing for 8K, or is it just a small like slow trend like
what I did was just work on one character at a time. Just try to get one up to 200 while, not neglecting the more important stuff, which I think, like simple dailies, that kind of stuff, that's very important. Because you have that time gate, right? So make sure that you don't lose progress on that. But just find a balance that works for you, that still makes the game fun for you. If you feel like you're wasting too much, or you're taking too much time away from your main character, and it's slowing down your access to bossing, and it's slowing down your progress on your character, then just shift it a little bit. Eventually 8K I think is worth it. Specifically if you want to start doing good damage on the Kanna, because you will want that 40% IED block, right? That's just really, really valuable.
Yeah. What do you think about getting to 245 and farming familiars then?
That could be a good idea. Healing familiar will have value for sure if you're doing hard lucids. The butterflies in hard lucid phase 2 tend to trip people up if you don't have at least a few healing familiars out there. For Will, healing familiars are very important, and if you want to be doing some of the damage as well, you'll definitely need some IED as well, which means you need 2, or ideally you want all 3 of those familiar slots available. So that's gonna mean
I have 3 of them already available.
Oh, you have 3. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know which familiars you have right now.
Put it there, actually. Okay, that's the one thing I missed.
There you go. Yeah, we found it.
I have 3 15% and 1 small drop, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not missing much there.
Yeah,
I have some meso drop ones, but I don't think they matter.
No, they shouldn't. No. If you have drop rate on your equips and you have decent holy symbol and stuff, then that should always account for the 100% chance to get a bag to drop. So.
Yeah, I have enough drop for that right now.
I think so.
And I drew 2 double line mesos. I got one on my Kanna ring, man. Oh, it felt so bad.
I saw it in the Discord. I think you sent it, right?
Yeah, man. Like, cause I just don't know when I'm gonna roll out of it.
Yeah.
And it feels bad to roll out of it, but I know it's a matter of time. I think when I get a solid ring and I transfer it over for 19.
Yeah, or you keep, what you could do is keep High Star Meister, High Star Reinforced, High Star Superior, and keep a 20-star solid.
I don't know which one's better, 19-star Kanna or 19 or a 20-star solid.
I feel like 20-star solid should be a little bit better, but not much.
Okay.
That would have to be a math thing. I have a 20-star solid on my arc, but I don't have a 19-star Kanna. I have a 21, so I don't know the numbers exactly.
Man, feels bad.
I mean, it's gonna make you a lot of money on the way there, and then once you get there, it won't feel bad to re-roll because it'll have made up its money. It'll have paid back its investment several fold.
So I haven't focused at all on like inner ability. So I'm at 400k honor XP, and like I exclusively get it from monster drops. So I like doing some dailies, but I feel like the entire list of total amount of dailies that like a character has to do is kind of ridiculous, if that makes any sense.
You can do a lot of them, right? But you always want to prioritize what one is more important.
Like, arcane symbols are always getting done every day. Right?
Yeah, but there's like a level where you're like, okay, this does something for me, but I mean, you've got stuff going on. You've got a life, right? Or it's something that should be alive. I can't really. I don't have one, but feels bad, man, in chat for people without lives. You got to draw the line somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things in Maple. You got to find, like, in order to still have fun in the game, where do you draw the line where you are like, okay, I can still enjoy what I'm doing, and still make progress without it going at the expense of, like, total.
I mean, the first things that go are like Monster Park and Commercy. Like, if I choose not to do dailies that day or something like that, that'll always go first. But I mean,
yeah, I would put Monster Park pretty high, actually.
Yeah, I have Sweetwater gear, and
because Monster Park is one of those time gate things. That's why I put that
Yeah.
one pretty high, the same way that I would put symbols pretty high, because they're also time gated, and because you also get the potions from it that you can make sure that you can level up your legion later faster.
Yeah. So I'm good on potions in general. The reason why I don't have it like perfectly linear on it is because I was using it to level up meals as well.
Yeah, maybe I
So
go a little bit overboard on potions. I don't know. I've got like
yeah.
5,000 gold at this point. Maybe it's maybe I could
Okay, I have
do a little bit
50.
less.
I have
Maybe
50
I could
gold.
slow down on the monster proc. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like
I feel
hoarding those. I don't know. Want some
Are
primals?
you ever gonna like use all of them? Like
No,
that's a lot
the
of
gold
time on.
ones. No, the gold ones are purely flex. I'm almost running out of
No.
green though.
Okay, well I always stay like 20 or 30 gold. Like
Yeah.
I skip the daily, but like every 2 days. I'll probably finish it out soon, I guess.
Yeah, I guess try to not skip the days that you're behind on, so that you can eventually end it like roughly around the same time.
Yeah.
Like your Thursdays and your Fridays are
My Thursdays and my Fridays
they're pretty
are the
low.
first to go.
What's Thursday today? Did you do it?
No.
Go for it, dude. For me, it's Wednesdays because that's the patch days. Like during maintenance days, I usually still get the run in, but during patch days, I sometimes lose my runs. So the Wednesdays for me are slacking.
Wednesday for me is charm, right? So like I wanted to get the pocket and
Oh
then
yeah,
go.
I don't even look at the. I don't even look at what is that day.
Uh, yeah.
I just do them.
No, and then Sunday is a double XP, so I feel kind of obliged to do it then, if that makes any sense. So
All right.
you,
Let's attack this a bit more structurally, okay?
okay.
Because don't mind chatting with you, but it's almost half an hour and I feel like we haven't really gotten into it yet. So
Yeah.
let's see if we can get some progress going. So which parts of the game do you feel like you could use some extra explanation on? Yeah, you've been around for 3 months, so you have
Weapon,
some.
secondary, emblem. What's the best combination for me to go for?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have a decent view on flames, transfer hammer. I don't know how much IED I'll actually need. Visual, I have visually 89 with familiars,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have superior Golic set yet, so that'll help out. I don't have 6K Legion, so or like the board, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help out. For inner ability, I don't know when to reroll my third line, or I don't know what to do with it for right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, like some long-term goals for that one.
Okay.
Transporting, I'm good. V Matrix, I think I'm for the most part pretty well.
Yeah, I think I
Uh,
can go into what's like next for the V Matrix, but you're so far it looks fine.
yeah. Uh, I keep a few of the ones in the bottom leveled up and stuff like that in case I need to use them for like Helix and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this moment in time, I'm doing like 3-minute Helix kills, so it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Well, yeah.
that's
Let me see where your leveled up slots are. Yeah, those are like focused around your important skills and your boost nodes. Yeah. Okay, so flame space core, you were good. Transfer hammer, you were good. IED. So, do you know how IED is calculated? How important it is?
yeah. Uh, I think I'll get 92. Then I think that's the reason why, like a big part of the reason why I plan on for 8K, just because I need more ED
Mm-hmm.
for right.
So if you're looking at the progression tab, that's mainly for the main attackers, right? So you can lag behind a little bit, but this does talk about the distinction between visual and functional
Yeah,
IED. Do you know about the difference?
yeah. I have 20% IED on all like my main key abilities.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you have hyper skills that give you extra, right?
I don't think so. No. So
But have you ever calculated like functional, like gone through your entire account and make sure that you have everything so you can see what your functional ID is?
I think right now is 89 because I'm 87 or something along the lines of that. I calculated it like a month and a half ago, but it's off now.
Mm-hmm. You've got like you could have the Explorer Mage, for example, as a debuff. That's a thing that can pop up. Yeah, there's a few things that could be applying monster debuffs, boss debuffs.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that you go over just all your skills. Make sure you double check everything to see if there's any ID on anything. That wouldn't go into your stat window. But even then, your stat window is also rounded, so it's just good to know what your actual functional number is. So to use the ID calculator once, like I guess that's one of your one of the pieces of homework that I would definitely advise you to do, is so that you know, and then you can use that number, that functional number that you have, and look at the grid and then see what number you're going to be aiming for. So if you're aiming for 250, a functional of like into the mid 90s is advisable.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, I think I'll get there once I hit 6K Legion and Superior Galaxy, right?
I think so too. But one thing we have to look at for that is that it's possible that you have some lines of ID now that go at the expense of damage and therefore should be switched out. That's one thing to look at. So
I don't think so.
what do you have on your emblem right now?
I have all of them are 2-line magic attack.
2-line magic attack. Okay. Wait, that's pretty high ID. Wait, where are you getting your ID from then?
Well, I get 2% more if I use my secondary emblem because it has junior thing. I have 15-star or like 15% IED familiars for all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
that helps a good bit.
That does. You got 10 here.
Yeah.
Oh, you get 87 visual, huh? And this is a 30% line.
I got everything else besides the metal. So
3 Lumi.
like,
oh, do you use the Hoyoung link?
I have like a young. Don't they?
Because that gives ID, right?
Not on at the moment. No.
No,
Okay. I mean, I have a beast. No, beast hammer doesn't give it. Yeah, just luminous.
Yeah. No, it's Beast Hammer gives it as the Legion buff, right. I think, together with the blaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I do have beast hammer, and I have everything at like a 140. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess with the 30%, I mean, we can like roughly. So let's say that this is your visual. Let's say you have add the boost node, so 20% of 13. That's 2.6 brings you to 80. Yeah, 9.6, then 30. That's close to 90. Then 30 brings you to 93, and then the extra grid brings you minus that, so back down to 90, but then a 40%. So that should roughly bring you to 94, I think. So that's a very good spot to be in. Yeah.
If I switch fans, because one of them has the 7% IED, I go from 87 to 89. So I don't know if that helps out by a percent or not.
I see. Because they're both just 2-line, but one has a better flame to be in your main stat or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was my first tier 6. I got that fan yesterday, so.
Yeah. What's the flame on the secondary fan?
Tier 5 plus, I think.
241 plus 101 plus 165. I don't know how much attack comes from that extra. Yeah, but for your Kanna flame, the main important thing is just attack, right? Because that's the only thing that will get transferred to you. All the other stuff is kind of lost.
How does Star Force work, by the way, on it?
So you have if you summon your Haku on the top right, you'll have a buff that's like a red fox.
Yeah.
And that one will transfer a percentage of your total magic attack of your fan from the fan to you. And that's the only part of the fan that basically just buffs you. So the more total magic attack you have, the better. So Star Force plus the flame, and that's why you prioritize just the magic attack on the flame, and the base attack of the weapon. the percentage of that total magic attack gets transferred to you. So that's why you don't care about like, you know, rolling 12% boss or something on the. If you do that in this case, then you just switch them out, right? You have the option right now. So that's a good situation that you're at with a Kanna, is that if you end up rolling like a really good, an even better flame than you have on your main weapon one now, then you could switch them out. Although I don't see that happening because it's a tier 6 and double tier 5, so that's probably not happening anytime soon.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what just happened like yesterday. So
yeah. Well, oh, that's why you switched them?
yeah.
Oh, that's why you had IED on the other one. Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's why this one has a int 24.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the next magnificent soul to be able to.
Wait, you had a Lucid Soul, didn't you say that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to switch out my IED like offhand with the Lucid Soul, and in my main hand we'll have like.
Wait, you can't use. Is the soul active on the secondary? I didn't think it was.
No. Well, I'll switch out the fans for one for farming and one for training. I mean, one for bossing and one for farming.
Right. Okay, so you get
the one-shotting anyways. So
yeah. Okay, you get the Lucid Soul on your farming weapon, so that you can switch them and then use the utility of percentage magic attack on your main weapon when you're bossing with it.
Yeah, because it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense for me to put Lucid Soul on my main like weapon. I think that's kind of it.
No, because normal would get like quote unquote bad potential lines there. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you could get boss or maybe even crit rate or something, or IED, that would all be useful pretty much. So you'd have more outs to get something useful. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That's a good game plan there. Okay. So that's already taken care of. Okay. But yeah, so IED, just make sure you calculate the functional and then those numbers. I think you'll be fine. What's always an option? So because you might want to switch out one of the ID familiars for a healing familiar instead, right? Make sure that you can enable your own survivability and that of your party. And in that, it might still be a good idea to have one line of ID on your emblem.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
You got that double, that prime in a second. Like, imagine if that was a 40 ID line or something.
Oh man, I've rolled. I'm the guy that rolled 5 triple attack lines.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me.
I was in Rudibus yesterday. Yeah, I get it. I was in Rudibus yesterday, and a guy was like, "What the fuck?" And he linked his superior belt, and it had 3 prime HP, and it was like 36% HP, and I'm like, "This poor man."
Yeah. No, that's happened to me a few times, but like that doesn't feel as bad as like the triple attack. So when do I go for the emblem upgrades, the weapon upgrades?
Yeah, so I would look at getting your 6K Legion unlocked.
Can't do anything about that besides wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the coins. Well, so you can. Do you know about your raid power and how that's calculated?
My raid power?
Yeah, your Legion raid power.
It's like all like you can see my Kanna and my Phantom and everything.
Yeah, so it's a total of those numbers, but do you know where those numbers come from?
Star Force and level.
Yeah,
mostly level.
Yeah, exactly. So you technically could speed it up by Star Forcing, right? That's what I was getting at, I guess. Yeah, you have to wait, but you can wait less if you. But yeah, you don't want to overspend, of course. I don't know how much Star Force they have. So you have 11
my
mil?
210s have 170, I think, just so that they can do the alien map. Everything else either has very little or 60, depending on how weak it is. But anything off the new event, pretty much nothing. Like the Umbra was pretty much like do Zakum at level 100, use Zakum weapon to 140.
Yeah. No, that seems fine. Your numbers for like 210 are like roughly around mine, so there's not like a lot of gains there to be made. No, that's fine. Just double checking. Okay.
I don't think there's very much like efficient gains I can make. Maybe if I had thrown the money instead of my superior ring on my meals.
Well, yeah, that's hindsight because you didn't know it was gonna blow up, right?
Oh man, I knew it was gonna blow up. It was karma.
Getting
I
greedy.
knew what it
Yeah.
was.
You knew exactly what you were doing and you got punished for
I,
it.
oh no. I disabled star catching for the first time. I was like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna send it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you sent it. To an early grave is what you sent it.
I sent it.
um,
Um,
okay, but so that takes care of ID. So once the ID, once that settles into the 6K, once you get your superior set, I think at that point you just recalculate.
yeah.
With
No.
probably with one less spider, so make sure that you have room for a healer.
Yeah.
Or if you're opening a bunch of familiars because you're trying to get healing familiars because you're trying to get maybe better drop in rare, maybe you do end up getting a familiar that has like ID and healing or something. Like a little bit of healing and
Yeah. I mean,
that
that would
was
be
some
me.
yeah
Like, I got, yeah, easy.
to just compensate for the ring and everything. And then you just do the calculation again, see where you're at with your ID. But yeah, you could be a little bit on the lower end, and then if that's the case, then you don't really have to. Um, you don't really have to aim for that ID on your emblem whatsoever. But if you do end up getting it, it is pretty good because that could mean that you might end up moving a bunch of the points out of ID instead in your legion, and then moving them into boss damage instead, for
But
example. To
is there a secondary emblem I can buy in the game?
No, the only way that you can get two emblems is if you made your character with the Terra Burn that gave you the extra emblem box at like level 120 or something, or level 200 or something, and then
Wait,
you
this
can have
is
two. I think it's
this is
only
a
I think it's only Nova characters that can just buy them from an NPC. So like Kaiser, Kadena, and Angelic Buster can just buy a bunch. And I think Xenon might be able to craft them because they can use hearts as secondaries as emblems, I think. But everyone else is just stuck with one. You do have the silver one, but it's a lower tier, so the numbers are going to be shit on there.
yeah. I can buy silver, but nah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So feels bad. Red cube my emblem eventually and send it. Like,
Yeah, eventually. But I'll have to go through everything else first. I think there's still a while before you get to that point because the average of rolling better than what you have now in your emblem than what you're like roughly in the direction of what you're going for is probably around 30 bill on discount cubes.
yep.
So with that money, you can still make big gains on everything else. So it is definitely something to look at, but it's a lower priority than you might think
Yeah.
at this point.
Uh,
Yeah, so I guess we can go over to your inability.
yeah.
So for inability for now, I think it's great. I wouldn't like touch it at all. We do have the exclamation mark IA to see what you want to eventually go for. I think it has crit rate in it so that you can move out of the Phantom Link, maybe even out of the Beast Tamer Link, and still hit 100% critical rate. Eventually, what do we have? 20 boss, 20 crit, and then magic attack to fill out. Yeah. So the way to go would be to circulate for 20 crit first on your second or third line, because it can be on either one. And then once you have that, wait until inability reroll, lock the crit, and then roll for the boss on the prime line.
Yeah.
But I would not do that for like a long ass time, because what you have now is great pretty much until you hit 275. Since you're a Kanna and you are high on your crit rate, you are high on your boss damage and your IED, like you're not missing any of those like very important stats that allow you to push all your damage through. You're not missing out on any of those. So I think it's better to just focus on keeping the meso obtain and the drop rate, so you can get nodes, so you can get money, and so you can just get to the final point of the line and you to your 250 and get there faster. Even at 250, I don't know if I would change them, because again,
No.
you're not the primary damage dealer, and what you're going to get out of it is 20% boss if you hit those max things, and a 20% crit rate, which will give you access to one extra link skill basically on top of now, which isn't bad, but I don't think it's good enough to give up the extra 20 meso and drop rate.
Yeah.
Especially since the later areas are going to be dropping the droplets by winter, most likely, and then you can just farm while you keep on leveling even past 250. You can still keep farming
It was
droplets.
more about like rolling my third line.
I think I wouldn't do that because the chance that you get anything useful in a third line is so small. I don't think it's even worth your honor experience. I would just stockpile the honor experience to when you are actually done, that you can then go hard and min max on it instead.
Yeah, but there's no realistic time when I'll ever go for boss and crit percentage because even if I hit 275, right, which is a very long goal, and I don't think I'll even hit there. I would like this is where all my meso's coming from for my account for the foreseeable future.
For sure.
Right?
Well, let me give you an idea. So on both of my my marksman and my demon avenger, I have my top line is +1 attack speed, and then one of the lines is 21 attack, right, the highest it can be. And then on the other one, I would want to get some critical rate. So for one of my characters, it's on the second line, and for the other one, it's on a third line. For each of those characters, like combined, during 50% off events, I've locked the other two lines and tried to roll on the third for critical rate, and I've spent a combined amount of about 9 million honor experience now, and I haven't seen critical rate a single time on either of those characters.
Holy fuck.
Just to give you an idea of how much honor experience you might want to save up before you want to... Yeah. So that's why that advice is coming from.
I rolled out of 19 meso and 8 drop because I got the free circulator and got the 20% meso.
Yeah.
And it just naturally rolled into the
Yeah,
drop.
this is really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I knew it was good.
This is great. This is amazing. All right, for like a farming character, this is perfect, but pretty much because if you have two really good lines like this, the third one is just negligible. You're just hoping for the best line, and then even 15% is maybe already better than what you're hoping for on the two lines combined. You have a little bit of buff skill duration, which isn't even useless. Like, I think this is just perfect, and just I would save up honor experience. You can get honor experience. Do you know how to get your honor experience?
I kill bosses and I kill minions or like mobs or whatever. That's it.
One extra thing you can do is dojo just once a week and pick up your points on Monday, depending on your rank.
I hate dojo.
Yeah, it's just like once a week. If you want, right? For the long term, if you want to stock up on honor experience, you just do one run, you get as far as possible, and then you pick up your points on Monday, and you do one more run, and then you just forget about it for the whole week. And the other thing you can do is whenever there are event stores, you buy out, right? I think you bought the what is it?
And I'll do that.
Yeah, the Karma box or whatever it is.
Dojo is just a really hard. I have a really hard time justifying it to myself.
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna roll anything better. So it's like, I feel like I'm just wasting my time. And like I could be making like 100 mil meso in that line and like in that time. So it's like,
yeah, for sure. I'm not saying that you have to do it. It's definitely low, very low in the priority of those dailies that we talked about before. It's just a possibility. So if you are further in the game, maybe you're not training as much anymore, and you're like, okay, I want to start making this character like a solo boss or now be able to carry more of its own weight, then you can start considering that, I guess.
Yeah.
But I hope that explains everything with the inner ability. Like that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was mostly about like just playing out the long game, the long con on it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of the long game, for your Matrix, I think everything now is fine, right? What you eventually want to move into is I think you also want to be able to boost the Vanquisher's Charm and the doll thing. Doppelganger?
Really?
Yes. Once you start bossing, there's videos out there of like Kanna's like soloing hard Lucid. The burst on Vanquisher, because you actually have passive hypers to boost your Vanquisher, right? With actually boosting that and having the boost nodes and the hyper skills on it, the burst on it is actually crazy good.
Yeah.
But this is if you want to, if you want to do, you know for sure you're like at 250 and you want to become more of the big dig damage dealer and you open more slots, then you go into that. Not before. Like you don't have to start, that is something you can do if you want to keep committing.
I could have kept them. Like, what would be the third one? What would be the third piece?
I don't know, just anything. Just either Orochi or the nine-tail spirit fox, whatever the fuck, I guess. One of those two.
Nine-tail doesn't do fuck all. Come on.
Orochi then, I guess. I don't know. Like the third one doesn't really matter. or even your foot. I don't know.
Not
maybe get like 0.01 seconds longer on the bind because you boost your foot or something. I don't think there's any third skill you put that's necessary there. So just whichever one you prefer, I guess.
Yeah, you can't put a barrier. I would put a barrier in there.
Yeah, I don't think those have boost nodes now.
Nah. So
No, but yeah, like doppelganger is also will, like, if you're close on the boss and doppelganger triggers, that's a big chunk of damage.
Yeah, I already do that, but like I was told these were like the things I was supposed to go
Oh
for.
yeah, this is like the baseline that's very important. Like if you're mobbing, if you're a farming character, this is very important. But if you push further, and once you open up more slots, and you are going to be doing more of the damage, and helping kill the boss more by yourself damage as well, then those two become pretty important.
Okay, no, and that's definitely something I plan on doing, like months and months ahead of time. But okay.
Yeah, and you only need 2 out of 3 nodes, so it shouldn't be too hard to find them either.
Yeah, I'll find them by like
Yep.
today, just leveling them up and like throwing resources at it. But I mean, I have nothing else to throw node stones at, so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get our. Hopefully, we'll know in in like a few months what the next Kanna skill is going to be. Right, that might be a really big one, but that'll also give you an extra slot. Who knows, dude? That's what Kanna needs, right? Just more invincibility. That's definitely something they can put to good use.
It's too weak.
Like, it's too weak.
Kanna's a weak class.
Yeah. So yeah, they're struggling. Kanna's struggling right now in the meta.
It's a weak class, man. Pog. Okay. I think that solves it for V Matrix. Thanks for that.
Yep.
I was wondering where to go.
Yep.
Anything else on anything I should like what's it called? The ones that only last for a set amount of time and then they expire.
Oh, the special nodes. Yeah. So there is a special node that it's like when you use X amount of skills, decreases your cooldowns by a percentage. I've heard people who are farming use that. So because in combination of that, in combination with a cooldown reduction hat, they can get 100% uptime on the normal Lucid Soul. So they can always have it up. That's a little bit min-maxy, but that's a thing that people use. Other than that, if you're going for training, you can use... there's a good experience one. What's it called?
Training, I'm kind of farming at CLP, holding a Vanquisher and watching movies.
I mean, it's kind of training, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit lazy training if you're in CLP, I guess. You could be getting better rates, but
400 mil an hour, man. Like,
yeah. Well, you could be. Well, there's better maps for Kanna, but.
No, I mean there certainly are, but they take attention.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
And I can't watch your stream.
Okay, that's a good one. You got me with that one.
Yeah.
Character building one. That's a good experience one.
Character building? Let me look at it right now.
Yeah, it should be on the last page, somewhere on the top left-ish, I think. Middle left. It's got like a little plus and a white outline of a character, I think. I think every 100th hit it gives you extra experience. That means you getting hit, but it counts a lot of you getting hit without you realizing. It triggers pretty commonly and just gives you extra experience. It's pretty nice for like long-term training sessions. You're like preparing a Pennant of the Spirit or there's some kind of training event like Surge and you're going hard. Then equipping that one is a good idea.
Okay.
And the only other thing is your eye skill from Will is very, very strong. So if you're going to be bossing, that one's very useful to throw in there.
Okay.
It's a good summon, good initial damage, and good damage over time as well. It's like part of your burst for every single class. It's that strong.
Even at level 1?
Yeah, even at level 1. It's really good.
Okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, like for bossing, you'd switch it out with Holy Symbol, for example, and at the end of the boss, you switch out Holy Symbol with one of your boost nodes or something, anything else that's not on cooldown, and then use Holy Symbol like that.
Yep. That's the plan.
Yep. Okay. Well, the last part here is familiars, but I think we went over that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're very close with your critical rate. You have your decent sharp eyes on your gloves, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably going to stay on there for a while because it's a good combination of stats. Because you already have that critical damage as well that I saw.
Yep.
Which means... Well, the other 5% crit... Hang on. When you go to 6k, you only add one character to your grid. But you
won't get shit out of it, pretty much. Yeah, but I mean, I'll get the extra border for IED crit damage. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, but that's gonna be 20 squares to fill, right? So even if you add a character of 4, it's gonna leave 16 spaces there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's pretty much all of the right side, right? 4.
Yeah.
So that means that you might lose those points in critical rate, which means you'll get even lower. You'll get to 10% missing. So the question is, where do we get those points from?
Let me check right now. Because that was second page.
These are 3. You're using both the Phantom and the Beast Tamer Link skill right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm having 96 crit, but I don't know how. Maybe
a familiar, maybe?
Nah.
What gives 1% crit?
Weird.
It might be... Could it be decent combat orders on top of decent sharp eyes? No, that wouldn't level it.
Nothing's up.
Interesting. You didn't level a character that gives you crit anywhere?
No, I mean, I have them all at 140 right now, and they're being used.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, free 1% crit, dude.
Free 1%. What? Oh, no. My buff duration has 1 extra point in crit. That's what happened. Okay.
Your buff duration?
Yeah, this is my page for training currently at CLP. My CLP mains there.
You have a different legion. I see.
Yeah, so I think it leaks in a little bit. So yeah, I'll be behind a little bit in crit, but hopefully 210 Beast Tamer will help balance that out a little bit more.
Yeah, that'll give you a bit.
So what are your thoughts of 95 crit rate instead of going for 100? Is that good? Or...
For every class, it's like you just need 100. Kanna is kind of the exception because a lot of your damage comes from summons, and summons don't crit.
Yeah,
so it doesn't.
Everything else that I have has 100% crit rate at 95. Besides Vanquisher Charm and all. But if I'm gonna be leveling those 2 up anyways, then I have pretty much 0 damage. That's not gonna be crit rate.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Once you start pushing to 8k crit, you'll get you'll get a little bit of crit just from leveling your Night Lord and your Marksman.
Yeah.
And then you'll get crit from your Beast Tamer. That's gonna be 5% already between them. And then once you start covering more of the grid, your grid will basically start looking like mine, right?
No, hopefully not.
Eventually, because then you'll just have more spare pieces that just go into crit.
I'm thinking of the thousands of hours I have to not play my Kanna.
Just do a little bit at a time so you don't notice.
I've never done that though in anything. I kind of just
you go all or nothing
and then I'll do 20 minutes and then I won't get shit and then I'll feel bad. So it's like I have to grind it out. Like I already know the type of person I am. So like I'm just hoping for another Umbra event or anything along the lines of that, you know?
Well, if you're pushing from 140 to 200, then Umbra itself wouldn't be that amazing.
Not Umbra, but
like Surge, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, a haste event is actually a really good event for that, which is what we're getting next week.
For meals?
Yeah, because it makes the rune debuff duration go from 15 minutes down to 10, gives you extra 100% experience on runes, so it doubles the bonus from them, and it gives you more experience on the orbs as well.
So maybe going for 210 Evan might be better than going for 210 Mercedes first?
Yeah, that's why, yeah, I probably do Evan first, and then typically then Aaron second. I like more, and then Mercedes, because then you'll have more experience to get the Mercedes there, and because there are more events that, like this one, like the haste event, that affect the experience gain of those two. And a lot of characters early on don't really have the I press one button, everything dies, but are more like everything dies kind of separately, and that gives the combo orbs, give way more combo orbs the chance to spawn, and therefore the percentage experience you get from the combo orbs is a lot higher, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind then.
Yeah. Yeah, the haste event plus Evan combined is crazy good. It's a little bit less now, right? Because the effects, they changed how the link skill works for the Evan, but it's still good.
Okay. I have no idea how good the events are. So.
Oh, Smiley said, don't you get 5% crit with level 20 trinodes? That's possible for some skills. Is it for all?
It's for all.
Oh, okay. So then 95 would be
good. No. Boss doesn't get it.
Well, boss doesn't hit crit anyways, right? That's why it wouldn't give crit. I guess the only ones that you have that would matter for is Exorcist, Charm, Shikigami, Hunting.
Kishin gets it. Tengu gets it.
Tengu, yeah. And then a Vanquisher Charm, and Doppelganger, right? If you eventually go into those, if those two get it.
I don't think I've ever heard you mention them before.
Yeah, I kind of added them recently because so if you check the V-Matrix command, I added them as like a third trinode, but basically optional, because most people that are going Kanna are kind of just going it as a purely supportive character or as a farmer, and just for most people it just doesn't really come up. But if you do keep going with it, then eventually eventually you want to do the damage.
Like, I just will be able to do more damage while like being supportive. That's kind of the goal, if that makes any sense, to be as like valuable as possible when it comes to being in team parties.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, like it comes into play pretty late into the game, so you don't have to worry about squeezing it in too early, because you need the slots anyway. These are more important, so you need to get the space in your matrix first anyway.
Okay. Well, that clears that portion. I think that's everything besides gear, right?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is not the right word pad. Hang on. Boop. I mean, it's not that I need that for this. I already know. You already know. Okay. So the general order and everything with Legion, that all makes sense. You already know which ones you're going to be working on. So I need to... There was one picture that you had all of your equips in its screen. This one. Okay, so the bottom one is like your damage stuff, right?
There was no order, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It was just based on accessories, and then APSO, and then CRA.
Well, the alien fragment is probably drop, right?
Yeah.
That make the most sense that you started with that. Easier to achieve.
I have a pendant that I don't use for anything right now. That's legendary, Mechanator pendant.
Because of the double mesos, right?
No, because of the double meso.
It's no longer necessary, so use a drop rate pendant instead.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's kind of a first world problem. Like, I can't use my Mesoptane pendant because I have too much Mesoptane already.
Struggles, man.
Poor me. Yeah. woe is me.
I think they'll bail into it, so it's like I want my money back.
Yeah. Wait, do you have an extra drop rate pendant, or?
Yeah.
Wait, you have the greed pendant and then.
The greed pendant.
And then the dominator.
Yeah. Oh, the dominator turned into damage. Oh. Yeah, I guess I'll make it into.
Yeah, so you can use. Yeah, you get the dominator into the mechanator into the second drop rate, right?
Yeah. Cool.
There you go, an extra line, more nodes for you.
my luck, I'll roll like double meso again.
Yeah, probably. Well, then you can roll your Kanna treasure without feeling bad, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, you got a backup now. It's all coming together.
It's the universe talking to me. No, that's exactly what it's looking like with my accessories and cubing and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, I got this good drop, and now I got to roll something else
Yeah.
from where it's at to it or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just can't work your way once.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I'll roll a triple drop,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Oh yeah, triple drop, yeah. Just casually.
Is that a thing that can happen? Because I don't see it in a
I
calculator.
don't think I've seen triple drops, but I have seen like double drop one meso obtain, double meso one drop. I've seen those float around, and it's yeah, like just even looking at it, just yeah, it's like you're watching the face of God.
I need it on my greed pennant too. Like.
Oh yeah, ideally.
I'll make my life convenient.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, so that would complete your whole set, right? With like full meso and drop coverage if you just switch the Machinator over?
Yeah, but the thing...
Or what's your eye face situation? Because you only have one, right?
Yeah, so one of my Sweetwater tattoos has dropped. The other one has triple antline. And then then I have a black bean mark with 18% int and 12% MP.
Yep.
And then I have a Sweetwater monocle that's 16 star.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see. Wait, you know the percentage MP doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, it's just there for show.
Oh, yeah. I mean for the because you do have MP to HP and then HP to magic attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just making sure because
that's why I said MP.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, the fact that you mentioned it made me hope that it wasn't because it also gives you a buff, you know. But no, that's good. Okay. Good. So yeah, so the ring is optional, I guess. Your Master Ring SS is like optional right now.
It's just waiting until something booms and like it's happy. I don't
to get it time to shine for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, you're focusing all your you're doing Helix, right? So you're focusing on getting the Superior Ring back.
Yeah, I'm doing it every day.
Okay, so you're wearing the so you're wearing Dominator as damage, one Superior as damage, Superior earrings.
Yeah.
The bean mark for damage. With
Sweetwater tattoo.
Yeah, with the Sweetwater tattoo with like 30%. And then all the bottom row. And then the rings right now is like a little bit of a mix and match, I guess.
I mean, they're all dropped. Like, so
yeah.
The Master SS is 15% currently, and so like I'll put it in whenever for like Helix, but I'll probably forget. So
wait, but it's 15% strength, isn't it? Did you re-roll it?
No. Oh, I just re-rolled it.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I mean, unless you really like to be a strong Kanna, you can smack things with your.
Man, if I could be strong Kanna, I would be strong Kanna. Like,
just be like a strength Kanna, so just lose basic attacks with your fan and shit.
I mean, I would have had what 8 lines of triple attack on it, so it would have been a strong Kanna, man. Like,
oh yeah, true.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll probably re-roll it. I just sent it to you on Discord, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice dex roll. If only you needed dex, I guess.
You know what's funny? I rolled out of triple int on my Master SS ring. No, I was trying to keep my my shoulder, and yeah, it didn't work out well for me. That was that day where I rolled triple attack.
3 times 3 times. Yeah, and very nice.
I came into your chat and I was just like, "Look, man, I need help.
I'm losing it, man."
I'm losing it. I don't know what to cube in what order, and I have a pretty good feeling that you're gonna tell me to just save up a ton of meso and just go for Star Force and send it.
Star Force wise, you're close or on 17 for pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on sales for the other parts.
Yeah, like a 5, 10, 15 would like push you to 17 on everything, I think.
Yep, and that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
I've only been able to use one 5, 10, 15 sale, so everything that I had then got pushed to that, but then I have gear that I gained since then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's just like
I,
sitting there diligently waiting for an event.
yeah,
That's
paying
good.
attention. Uh, Probably shouldn't have bought a second Sweetwater tattoo just to make it drop gear, but
I think it's fine because if you end up rolling something better, you can just switch them out always.
yeah. I don't think I can roll out of triple int though. And that happened afterwards.
I mean, you can end up with 33 and then switch.
Oh, true. That's a truer right there.
Yeah. Or 36, but I don't usually count on those. I usually 33 is possible. 30 is already like really good, of course, compared to all your other stuff, right? Because you want to get your Abzo on the same level at some point.
Is there a specific order in me wanting to cube Abso? I'll probably just have to check through the calculator to be able to do that.
It's all like roughly similar. Well, your glove is going to be one that you probably don't touch yet, right?
Yeah.
But like between the shoulder, the cape, and the shoe, I feel like they're all roughly similar. But yeah, if you threw it into the calculator to make sure, but but I mean like the similar costs to get to higher. I mean, shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Whenever I cube them, I'm like, damn, these have more junk lines than I remember. But then I do end up rolling decent lines still pretty quickly.
Okay.
The shoe might be the worst one. I'm not sure. Calculator would tell you that. Getting everything up to 17, but that's not even going to be a huge expense because you're pretty close on a lot of these. And most of them already are there. So, I probably like the things that are at 12. I probably wouldn't push there. I would probably just keep them where they are. Right, your drop rate stuff, like your alien fragment stuff. I just keep that at 12. I wouldn't really push it.
Yeah. That's just hard stuck 12. Oh, I throw my Master Craftsman cubes at my alien build. I got a 14% though, so I'm done.
On your alien belt? Oh yeah, for the set bonus or?
Well, like, you gotta think I've been using that alien belt for about 3 months now. Like, so it's up to me. Like, cause I had 8% or something like that, and that was it.
Oh, you haven't got the superior belt yet.
Yep, I haven't gotten that drop yet.
I see. But you're doing Helix daily, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess so. There's two major ways this goes, right? Either you just go full upgrade on your
It's just full upgrade on superior.
Well, yeah, you definitely go full upgrade, but I mean, like in general, like with your Abso stuff and everything. So the two main ways that you go about it is if your end goal is like Lucid and Will, like hard Lucid, hard Will on the Kanna, and you feel like that's pretty much going to be like your limit, then just going all out on getting great potential on your Abso stuff once it's at 17 star, and like maybe improving the flames a little bit will be good enough for you to be like a big contributor in damage and do like well enough to be able to make sure you run those when it comes to your Abso stuff.
But it's more cost effective to start at the 20 star than to go for another 10% in, right?
I feel like it's roughly similar. Well, yeah, like 33 or like 30, or you can roll 27 or something, right? Like you can get pretty close to that. Yeah. There's a lot of outs there. So that makes it, I think, more cost efficient because 24, 27, 30, 33, like maybe like some 36s, like those are like a lot of outs.
Okay, that's definitely true.
That's one option. So the other option is to just save up level 150s, wait for 5, 10, 15, go hard, try to get 21 stars, and then once you have that, transfer hammer and then re-roll to basically your current potential, and then that will be your upgrade.
So do you recommend like going for 150s and transfer hammering, or just going for 20 star like straight out?
I prefer that because I hate doing the weeklies. And if you blow your stuff up,
I have somebody I can trade weeklies with on 5 or 6 characters weekly, and then I can just stock up on coins. And like I did the math, and I think it's like 400-500 mil that I save a piece or something like that. So I'm thinking it's worth it. I'm not like 100% on like whether you like transfer hammer just because it's tedious, or because it's.
I'm just lucky with star forcing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like always for some reason. Like so, I got my marksman the full 20-star Abzo in one event in 21.5 bill.
All right.
With all 5 of the equips, and I think usually the average cost per or the median cost per equip is I think 13.
Yeah, that's like that was the thought process too.
Yeah, so for 5 equips, I paid like a third of that. So it just ends up working out for me. But I do realize that it totally depends. So if you're okay with doing the weeklies and with exchanging that and doing it on the equip itself, that it's probably the better way to go. And then you can also like frog leap them one at a time, just to 1 star at a time, right? Which is also more money efficient.
Which is exactly what I was planning on doing.
Yeah.
Right. If I boom something, I'll get it back to where it's at.
Yeah.
So I'll have enough spares, and then I can just go 18, like 19, and then.
Yeah, and if that's the way to go, then there's no downside to also cubing first if there's a DMT, for example. That actually works. Because then you know that you're going to keep the trace anyway.
And that was my thought process on it.
Yep.
I'm still waiting on the heart. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, no, that's just wait until winter. Yeah. And
Audible badges coming back? What's up? No.
What? Badges? What?
Okay.
Oh, the honorable emblem, you mean? Oh, the Sengoku Hakase badges. No, those are not coming back. Those are not part of the event.
Is there any thought on like his? So I'll still be able to do any of the late game content even though I don't have the badge.
Yeah, there's no limitation for you whatsoever.
Okay. So it's just mental gap. Like...
Yeah, it's purely a mental thing. Yeah, because the way you got to think about this is like any equip that you have, like that's not like your weapon secondary or emblem. If you unequip any one equip that you have, you will lose a lot of damage, but you will never. One equip will never be the difference between being able to do content or not being able to do content, unless your weapon or your secondary allows you to use skills. Even like superior Golics, the 30 boss and 30 IED, it'll be a huge difference in your damage output, but one equip will never be the big gap. It's always a combination of having everything upgraded. So you're just going to have to squeeze a little bit more potential out of the other stuff to compensate for it, but you will get there.
Yeah. Okay. I think Pink Holy Cup. Any thoughts on that? Just do Pink Bean and Transfer Hammer, or like Fuse.
Yeah, I do that, although I've never gotten a single good cup from fusing. It's always just been from flaming them. So what you could do is just hold a spare and flame that until you get a better one, then switch them out, and then repeat the process until you get to the number that's on the progression sheet, basically. Yeah,
that's where I'm at with that. Any thoughts with the monocle? Like, so I've heard some people tell me that soy water monocle, even with bad flame, is better than black bean mark, but I'm not.
What set bonus do you get right now? Because you have the Crystal Ventus badge and the Pink Holy Cup and the Black Bean Mark, right?
Yeah, let me put that on real quick. 5% max HP, 5 attack, 10 all stat.
What the fuck is your Bean Mark? Oh, wait, I know your Bean Mark. It's 17 stars. It's got a 4% flame. It's got 12% MP, 18% intellect. And some intellect.
Max MP does calculate though, right? It's just
so
not max MP, just the MP that you get off flames.
Yeah, flat MP does calculate. Yeah, flat MP gets transferred into HP, and then all of your chunk of HP gets multiplied by your percentage.
It's just the cubing the percentage on that's worthless. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like just small things like you kind of have to like be on top of.
Probably miss it like 3 times. Yeah, see a little bit of int 4%. Yeah, there we go. It does end up with 16 attack. I guess it's mainly the level difference, and it's mainly the level difference is the amount of bonus stats you get when you get to higher stars, and it's also the lower tier of potential. I think eventually what will happen is you'll try to re-roll for better stats on both, and then your Black Beam mark will end up getting your drop rate or meso-obtain item, and then the monocle will end up becoming your damage item, ideally.
Unless I get pop mark or something.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the drop rate for that should also be increased this winter.
Okay.
So then it'll become more reasonable to find them.
Cool. I actually haven't killed CPAP at all.
It's good to start practicing the mechanics because he is tricky. I have a video on it if you want to get some advice where I basically just pause the run. I just look at my own run and like talk through the whole thing about what I'm doing, where I'm doing it, why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because he is difficult.
Yeah, it's just unforgiving, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I've gotten to the last phase before last week. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can kill it. I know I can kill it, right? Like, stat-wise and everything into that. It's just a matter of whether I'm gonna get there by just, like, using the best mechanic in the game, which is stat, instead of, like, you know, actually using skill to be able to kill it.
For sure, yeah. And you have your 2 binds, so you can use your like a short bind on the end of the first phase, for example, then transition into the big bind for the next one, so it doesn't do anything weird. Because the thing that can definitely kill you in the second phase is the teleportation he has. I'm pretty sure Haku can like block it off once, but if the Foxfire is down, then you might still
Haku's MVP, man.
Yeah.
You know it blocks Hug's hand?
Oh, that just doesn't kill you?
Yeah, it just doesn't kill you. Like, if you dodge
what is this class, dude? Why is this class in the game? This makes no sense.
It's a weak class, man. That's why it needs an iframe.
Yeah, it needs a buff, right? Given that iframe, yeah. For when Foxfire is down and you get that, you catch that other hand. God damn. Okay.
I think that's good with that. So what would you recommend? Like Star Force or cubing? Or which one would I'm gonna go for both.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
So like the real question is not like
if you have you have no problem killing, you do want to go the Star Force route that way, and you're gonna have to eventually recube anyway, so I would just focus on Star Forcing.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. I was hoping you'd tell me, nah, just cube.
Well, you can if you want to, but like I said, that definitely locks you into this. So you could, but the problem is why I'd say not cube is because I do either one on an event, and it seems that the cube events right now are very lackluster, and the Star Force events are more reliable.
Yeah.
So that's why I would prioritize those.
That's been my thought process on it too.
Smart guy.
I just checked it as Pharah without buffs. I'm killing Arena, like the spider thing, like 75% of its HP with one Tengu hit or something like that. So
that's pretty
good. I still need to be a little bit stronger if I'm gonna like.
Well, Arcane Power is gonna help you, right? Because 900 I think is bonus there.
Yeah.
So those 5 levels, there'll be 20% extra final damage. That'd be huge.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's gonna help with 25% coverage. Really?
So let's say you're doing 70% of their HP, so 20% extra final damage would get you to like 84% of their HP. That's pretty close. If you have some Yosuzumes flying around and as a stray summon slapping the shit out of them, then
yeah. And
Tengu returns, right?
Yeah. No, if Tengu returns, like it'll kill it.
They're gone, so yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of like how I'm gonna do it and like.
Did you see the one tactic in the Aranya map? Is it Aranya? I think it's the red one map where you like Tengu at the bottom, jump up, and then diagonally retrieve them, and then resummon them, and then go down, and then retrieve them diagonally again. So they form like a triangle through the map.
Effort though, man. Like.
Yeah, but the rates I've seen people like that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but like, okay, rates are great, but like, if you can only.
But I gotta catch up on my shows, dude.
Yeah, I gotta watch your shows, bro. Like, Like, you think I can do both? No, man. I'm only
I,
one person.
no, I
Like,
believe in you, man.
maybe if my girlfriend helps me out. She gifted me the thing like
But like
for
narrating the stream for you, or
no, she gifted me the 20 or like the $40 for the progression vid. She
oh, I
was like,
see.
you spend more time doing this. Pay attention. I was just like, Pog,
Was that
okay.
was that her birthday present to you?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday, by the way, dude.
Thank you, man. I think, yeah, I mean, also for the rings, when they come into show, get them to legendary ASAP and then 17 star as well. I think
Yeah, have you figured out what you want to do with Meister?
build 3, transfer hammer 1 to superior, um, keep 1 for damage ring.
So you're just going 17 and then holding there?
I mean, until 20 star Abso, right? 20 stars here, right?
Yeah, that's probably the move first. And for CRA you probably have a bunch of backups already, right? I think I saw that in your.
Yep. Just
That's like no risk, no safeguard, just boom
I
it.
was thinking I've never safeguarded anything. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I saw your ring, so I'm not surprised.
No, not like this.
It happens.
You were nicer to other people, man. I'm just getting flamed on it right here. Like, yeah. I mean, I'll transfer hammer and then send it again.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, or yeah. Well, the Meister transfer into it, right?
yeah, I mean, if the Meister booms, it booms, right? Who cares?
Yeah, I just wait for another primal.
I have 4 right now.
Sorry. Wait, is it primal? Yeah, primal. Yeah.
But I can only make 3, so I gotta wait.
Are you stuck on grand spells or?
So I was selling my my Twisted Times.
Oh, just okay. We
So
should make
like
those break. Yeah.
you know those desperation cubes?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I have a clip on that actually. Like there was a cubing. I think there was a cubing event, and I went all out. And I spent everything on my earrings, and I just got nothing. And I ended up selling some Twisted Time for like one last cube. And I buy the last cube and I throw it on the item, and it rolls 3-line HP on my DA. And I'm just sitting there, just looking at my screen, just not believing what just happened. and it's just me for like 15 seconds going like. And then the clip just cuts out because I think I sit there for like 2 more minutes. Like that did not just happen. Like what the fuck?
Oh man.
Like literally no money left. Like only enough money for one more cube with the Twisted Times, and not just enough money to reveal it, and that's it.
I don't know how quickly I get Twisted Times because I honestly haven't been checking on it.
Well, with the extra line on your Mechanator, that should be sped up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think I got like 600 today. So
And I think you can level up your Holy Symbol still a bit in the Matrix. I think I saw, right?
Yep.
That one's pretty low level.
Does that matter at all?
So what I usually do, I just Google it. So you can do like Holy Symbol, Maple Wiki or something. Maple Fandom, whatever. And then I'll just look at the numbers just to see if it's. So I guess the. Oh wait, I should do decent. If I do, wait, can I?
Oh, it's more bonus XP.
Am I a hacker? Yeah, decent. Yeah. So level 1 is 20% XP and 14 drop, and if you get it to level 30, it's 35 EXP and 24 drop.
Okay, so I get 10% more drop. Okay.
Yeah, and 15 more EXP if max compared to level 1. Yeah.
Cool. Do you recommend doing that above other blocks? Because I think what's it called?
Probably.
Yuki-Onna or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That's really strong for bossing. Sakano's Blessing, that's pretty good too. Then Sengoku Force.
Sengoku Force is strong, yeah.
Like I feel like other things are in the totem pole way below like Holy Symbol. Because it's just up armor, you know. Kanna 2020.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's the same reason why you go for why you go for drop rate and mesoobtain on your accessories first, right? Before you go focus on the damage ones, is because once you get that foundation, you get that income, then you can afford it faster later. And Holy Symbol kind of works the same way because you can get that income of nodes, so that when you get in your fourth V and it's amazing, you can instantly like max it or get it very far, and then once you have that, it'll return on investment, right?
Yeah, I was gonna max my skill. Well, domain had to go first, but I was gonna
Yeah.
max the trinodes, and then I was gonna go for decent symbol or Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah, no,
depending.
that seems like the good way to go. Yeah. So so that would be next on the block for you anyway. Yeah, and if you open other nodes, you just level those up. That's why you got your blessing and your Yuki, and that's already like level 8, right? Because you open so many
Yeah,
nodes.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just kind of what it comes with.
Yeah,
Just haven't gotten many like holy symbols, which has been a thing. Uh, yeah.
because Yuki does not change. I think in uptime, right? It's just in damage.
Yeah, but the damage is insane. From what I've seen with like late game
Oh no, it does
Kannas.
increase. It does get more uptime. It does go to 50 seconds on max compared to
Oh,
35 at level 1. Oh, that is pretty nice. Oh,
oh, okay.
and the cooldown goes down as well. Oh, that's actually really nice. It goes from 35 uptime with 90 cooldown. It goes to 50 uptime with 75 cooldown. So only 25 seconds in between.
Are
Oh,
you changing your mind right now?
oh maybe, dude. Well, I would still see it more as a bossing one
Yeah.
than a mobbing one, but that is actually a lot better than I thought.
Yeah.
It goes from like what is this, like 30% uptime, or like 35% uptime to 66% uptime. It's pretty major.
Okay.
It is quite
I'll
nice.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mind.
Usually I don't max out my holy symbol like maybe ever. Because at a certain point you're like, I need to throw 8 skill nodes in here to get 1% more experience. It gets a little weird sometimes, and I'm not that min maxy. So I would end up maybe getting holy symbol like, I don't know, like level 12 or level 16 or like around there, whatever would be a nice number, right? After you Google the skills and you're like, oh okay, this is a good number to aim for.
I'll
Um,
probably just max it all. I mean, like
like let's see.
I don't play anything else besides Kanna,
Yeah, like level
and
12 to 13, for example, doesn't add anything. Like the experience
oh,
stays the same and the drop rate stays the same. So
okay.
you're basically like you gotta get 2 levels from 12 to 14 to gain 1% EXP. Like at a certain point, like a 16 to 17 doesn't add anything either. Like it sets you up, but then 17 to 18 gives you 1% on each. But then 18 to 19 gives you nothing again. I don't know, like who came up with these numbers this way, but yeah, I would just look at see like what is a sweet spot, just leave it there, and then probably level it on, yeah, because
I
Yuki on
mean,
it, because looking at the numbers, that's actually pretty juicy. The uptime is good.
I'm leveling up ethereal form, and that's probably it. Like, there's probably no reason for me to level it up, right? It doesn't go down and cool down at all. Like, it's just
Is it the
takes a little bit of
price?
less HP than me from me or something. Like, it, I probably should have just like dismantled them.
Cooldown duration. Oh, the cooldown does go down a bit.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Oh, yeah.
it goes
All
down
right.
to 53 seconds instead of 60, which is still
Yeah.
decent. Like it's more than a 10% decrease, right? It's 11, almost 12% decrease.
Is ethereal form just like one of the weakest iframes? Because I feel like you can't jump, you can't cast anything. Like,
Well, you can't die either. That's pretty good, right?
you can't die. But I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like with Lucid, the dragon, if you don't time it right, you still die because you can't jump up or anything like that. So it's like,
Yeah, it's more if you're up during dragon, but then the lasers start at the same time, then you wanna pop it so that you can wait until the dragon is gone and then go down so you don't get killed by the lasers even though you're
yeah,
into safety. It's kind of like
yeah.
that, yeah.
But like ping is a thing. Like
Yeah, a
so
little
it's
bit,
like
yeah. Sure,
so
yeah.
if
Timing is critical,
so
yeah.
so like there's been situations where like the dragon's coming down, like
You're talking
I'm
phase
probably
one, right, or phase two?
yeah phase one.
Phase
Phase
one.
two is actually easier than phase
You know,
one.
you can stay above the dragon in phase one for the entire duration, above the
Yeah,
breath.
with charm and Orochi.
Yeah. And even you can pop in like an extra exorcist on your way down to float a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't always do that, of course. Charm knocks you to the side a little bit, which can float you over a golem, and then it's Betty bye anyway.
But I again, I have no experience with the well, so maybe it helps more on that. But like, or sleep out, right? But like right now, ethereal form, like
Oh yeah, ethereal form is very helpful for Will phase 3 because
yeah,
there's like a phase where you have to either move, which means like use a movement skill, or stay. And basically, since all your movement skills are very quick, they have a very short window of being counted as move. So the timing is critical and very hard. So typically, what teleport classes do is they just use ethereal form if it's up, and otherwise try to like Hail Mary coin flip and hope that the move works until they get more, until you make sure that you have a run with good ping and that you have more experience on when to do it exactly. Some people try to do down teleport from the top platform because it gives you a little bit more airtime, which makes it the move window a little bit wider from what I heard. But typically the move stay mechanic in Hard Will phase 3 is where it gets tricky, and that's where ethereal form, having it on lower cooldown so you can use it more, it makes it more reliable that you survive, especially in the earlier will runs where you're probably going to lose some lives on phase 2. It's good to not just get waffle stomped by phase 3 so that you can actually get to the finish line.
okay. And there's no real reason to go anything above will rather than like vanity, right?
Right now, I mean, like the Genesis weapon is really, really good. I don't know if you've looked into it, but it takes
That's
like,
not happening. Like,
but like unlocking it, like it gives you a final damage skill. It gives you an iframe, right? 10-second iframe.
That's not happening.
Really short cooldown. Like, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's not just vanity. It comes fully upgraded once you unlock it. Like, there is a lot of value in that weapon. It's really, really, really strong. And it's a lucky weapon as well, so it counts with all your sets that you have 3 of.
Yeah, but the difference between hard will and black mage.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Yeah, for sure. You have to be able to like solo hard will basically to be black mage ready almost. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the same. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
although there was a Kanna with like, what was it, like 42k stat or something in the last in one of the black mage runs, who cleared it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can get a leech. Oh,
you have to be a god at the mechanics though, and there's like
easy, bro.
It's basically like you're fighting 4 wills at the same map, constantly trying to, because you will just lose lives, not even from dying, but you have like a debuff, and then you get hit by a certain skill, you lose a life instantly. Yeah, it's you could check !black mage in the chat. There's like a doc there to the mechanics of the black mage. It's I think it's a longer doc than your gear doc here of 39 pages.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
Even right now, Reboot, they're only passing it due to like phase 4 or something with domain is bugged.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well,
so like what?
I think they would still be able to do it without it, but I mean, nobody would not use it if they can. Yeah.
I mean, people are bringing in like people's meals. I think like the 42.
Yeah. At this
2K
point.
Kanna was a meal, right? So he has like experience.
Oh, pages
before
loading.
that situation.
Yeah, see, it's 46 pages of of mechanics.
As much as I'd love to say like I want to get there, I really don't. Like,
it's gonna get easier though. So what Maple always does is it brings out new endgame content once the endgame content starts like being regularly cleared. New endgame content comes out, and everything that's before that was endgame kind of gets shoved into late game and becomes more accessible to everyone. And then the people who are already at endgame don't care because they've got new stuff to take care of, and the people who were in late game care a lot because now they can do something that feels endgame to them but actually isn't endgame anymore, but it feels endgame to them, and now they can have more reliable access. That's what happened with all of the bosses. Like Hard Lucid used to be a huge DPS check at the end, but has been nerfed in HP twice, and now she's kind of a joke, like with the barrier to entry. It's kind of weird. Like my hero is like killing that thing pretty quickly at 240, helping it with doing a lot of damage because her final HP was nerfed by so much. Like my last time my party went with Hard Lucid, we actually were only 5-manning it, and we were missing an arc for our burst, and we 5-manned it.
It
was close though.
If I care about just accessing late game content, which is like a big factor for me, am I better off keeping Kanna as a farmer and then like building an entire new character and then pushing that through.
You will have a very, very solid foundation to keep the Kanna, like if you're going for Kanna like around 247 or something, right? Because yeah, then you'll be very close to just doing regular damage on Will. Won't get any meso penalty for any of the relevant maps in Arcana. I hope that we're going to see a little bit of a shift though in farming maps, with Asphera being a little bit more reasonable with the upcoming map changes. And there's always the option to go MTS 7, right? MTS 7 is already good now and is going to get even better, like quite a lot better, I think, with the update. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually becomes the best farming map in the game after the map changes. Yeah.
I just don't want to like int and get banned. It sounds really bad to say.
Oh that, yeah, no, the suicide cunning, the suicide farming thing was so basically just suiciding to stay at the same level is not against the rules. What's against the rules is abusing that heavily. And basically that just means killing yourself a lot, like hundreds of times a day, or like instantly, like 30 times within 1 minute or something. And that basically they made that against the rules so they could just, they set up an auto ban system to make sure that they caught the bots who were doing it. And the only people that were also getting caught were the people who were just extremely abusing that. So that was a term that they used, like abusing that mechanic, not just using it, right? Just using it doesn't mean abusing it, but you can abuse it to an extent where it gets excessive. But they can't really tell you what that line is, because if they do, botters just program their bots to be just under that line, and then the whole auto ban system they set up is just completely useless. So they can't really shoot themselves in the foot like that.
Okay. So it's not a crazy thing for me to like stick at 247 until the new maps come out and then like level to that, because like I'm doing the math right now and like I'll hit 247 in like 2 weeks.
For sure, but yeah, if you feel like you want to play another character, sure, but you can Kanna main like forever, right? Kanna is a super relevant character everywhere.
Okay.
Great survivability, great utility, always wanted in a party, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like, even though it's like really wanted, there's also like a lot of them, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, but there's also a lot of bad ones with like shit mechanics. So if you make sure that you know the mechanics of the boss and that you have practice and that you have a network, right, within your guild, that people know you, that you add a lot of people to your buddy list, you join Discords, stuff like that, people will know you, and then, you know.
I mean, that's kind of what I've done from the very start, right?
Yeah, it's a good.
I joined your Discord like the first week that I started, and I started at CRA struggles with like 3K stat or something like that, you know. The good times, you know.
Yeah. Throwing those binds out and hoping that you chunk it a little bit.
Somebody was like, "You're probably doing once," but I'm like, I'm there for moral support and my permanent CRA gear. Like,
those are two very important things.
No, like really though, I was really scared that I was gonna like not be able to play the game that well because I wouldn't have a permanent CRA gear. 3 months later, obviously, like no shit, like obviously that wasn't gonna be a thing. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm good with everything else. Weapon secondary emblem calculations. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a thing that I feel like I should make a video about, because I feel like it's pretty simple. People overthink it, but it is important to know exactly what you're doing with it and how it works.
I have to take out my my link skills to take the calculation and take all of my like clothes and everything, right?
No, you can use your links. You can use everything that you have by yourself. So there are two ways that you can optimize this. You can optimize this in the same way that you optimize your critical rate, where you're basically looking at which buffs do I have access to and which ones can I use at 100% uptime, and then that's what I want to optimize for. Or if you're super burst heavy, then what you can also optimize for is just specifically your burst.
So which one do I need to do?
As a Kanna, you'll probably want to optimize for like the all-around situation.
Okay, cool.
At least for now. So when you want to super optimize for burst is if you're either a character that's like just really heavy on the burst. So you're like a hero, you're like a an arc, an Hoyoung, a Night Lord, right? If you're those, you want to just, it's maybe even better because the percentage total damage that you do within your burst compared to out of your burst is so huge. It's such a huge difference that if you want to optimize for any of those situations, it's probably best. Now, that being said, it's very likely that the optimization for those two can be very close. But if you're trying to min-max, then any kind of difference is important to take into account. Yeah, so for your situation, so the base percentage attack is all the percentage attack you have. So what you take out, right? The only thing you take out is the current potential lines in your weapon, your secondary, and your emblem that you already have that count, and that would go into any of these three. So for you, that would just be all the magic attack, right? Because you have no damage, no boss damage. Oh, you do have a line of 10% damage on your weapon. So you do have to take that one out. But that's it, because you have no ID either. Yeah. So for percentage attack, for most classes, that's if you have like a percentage weapon or magic attack soul, or if you have echo, right? You'll always have echo on because you're doing this for bosses. So you'll always, one person in your party will always be dropping echo, which is soul would be 3%, echo is 4%. So that's probably 7. That's for most classes will just have 7 here. The only exceptions I know of is Adele has a percentage attack beginner skill, and I think Evan has a percentage magic attack skill. But yeah, make sure for your class that you double check just with all your skills if there's any percentage attack somewhere.
I think it's 7.
Oh, and you can have percentage attack now in your familiars. So either in the badges that you have or in any of the familiars that you have summoned.
Second, let me check my badges.
It's some of the later level badges, I think they'll have. I think it goes up to 3%.
I have +2 M attack.
Oh, Demon Slayer and Buccaneer have as well. Okay, thanks you. You have what? 2%?
No, +2 magic attack, not 2%.
Oh yeah, +2, not 2%. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
And then I have like 1 attack percentage, but that doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it says percentage attack here, but of course if you're doing this for a mage, then you'd look for the magic attack one. And then your base damage is your damage bonus and your boss damage together. So this is where it's very important which of the two scenarios that you're doing, because if you're doing it optimized for bursting, then this number is going to be, depending on what class you are. Like if I do this for my arc during burst, I think I'm at like 900. But some other classes, it might be perfectly fine that you're at around that 450. That's very possible. Yeah, so boss damage and damage percentage together.
I'm at 136 right now. What?
That's your...
Yeah, I don't have a lot of boss damage.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of boss damage. That's because your Legion is lacking a huge chunk, and you don't have any boss damage lines on your weapon and your secondary either. So just imagine you fill up that 8k Legion, right? 40% boss damage basically added, and that you have 1 line on your weapon and your secondary, 30 on each. That's 100% extra already.
That juicy 8k Legion though, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's why 8k Legion is so juicy for
how long does it typically take from just start to finish?
Oh god, I really don't know. You seem to go pretty hard, so I think you can do that pretty fast.
Oh, man. I'm a casual.
It's gonna rely though on your stock of
potential scrolls.
No, of Legion coupons, like experience coupons for your Legion.
Oh, that's never.
So if you do it too soon after hitting your 6k, it's gonna take a while. That's why I tend to do one character at a time and then just stock up a little bit. Well, I had enough coins, but you can like stock up enough coins so you can just rush it, and you can also push it with those big potions, right? They give you 49% experience plus half an hour.
I don't think I've ever used any. I've used 1 experience coupon my entire time.
Wow.
I've never had another chance. Like, I have to level up my board, right?
I mean, you don't have to, but you can. Yeah.
I mean, but
we use gold pots as well, right? That counts as kind of an experience coupon.
Gold pots. Yeah. Yep. But not like what I mean, the experience coupons from Legion specifically.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can get them from Dojo as well. That's another thing you can use the points on, if you're ever like min-maxing leveling fast.
Okay, and that goes at the expense of honor, though, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And you can also get 3-day spirit pendants there.
Is it time efficient?
Is it time efficient?
do dojo for the double XP?
Oh, I would say so. Yeah, like during the surge, for example, I would do 4 hours a day, like the full surge, and then after that, I would be completely pooped. So I would just do like one 15-minute run somewhere in the week, and that would give me enough points to buy 5 hours of double experience for the next week.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, that might not be enough to buy all of those out for you because it depends on how highly you rank on your character.
Okay. I mean, I don't think I ranked that well either at dojo.
No, but I think, yeah, as long as you're around your level, I think you should very easily get like 12 to 14k, so that would be like 6 to 7 coupons, so like 3.5 hours worth.
A week? Or
Yeah, per week, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, on top of the Legion ones, right? And it doesn't go into your coin currency, so...
Okay. I mean, I'm just thinking of whether I should stay at 6k or I should move to 6,500 and then like stay there for a little while. Because I don't know how strong or how important the level 3 links are, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah,
so it's like,
in the grand scheme of things, they're not very important, but when you are stacking all of the strongest things that you can possibly have all together, it all adds up, basically. But like one of them is never going to make like a huge difference, but all of them together is what gets you there.
it's not like I won't do it. It's a matter of like order. Like I would like to know, okay, do this here at this time, then do this at this time, and like do this at this time. But it's kind of like just here are a list of tasks. Do them. You'll get there eventually.
Yeah, you have to like trust the system a little bit.
Yeah, and like that's pretty much where I'm at right now. It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like a chicken with this head cut off, like just hacking and like hoping like I'm using your progression list as like a good barrier of like, okay, this is what I need to go for. 240, okay, I'm gonna hit 240, okay, go work on Legion, okay, work on IED, then work on IED, then find ways to get boss damage, but like magic attack is more valuable than boss damage to get boss damage wherever I can get.
Well, so it's not inherently more valuable, right? It depends on the balance, and that's why it's a good thing that we're looking at the WSE optimizer now, because you can never say like one thing is more valuable than one other thing, because it always depends on how much you already have of everything and how the things are calculated. So for example, we had the lab server a long time ago, which was basically like a temporary server which had completely different rules and completely different ways of getting stat. And what you would get in that server is you would get a lot of stat and you would get a lot of percentage attack. So knowing that you got like a lot of percentage stat and stat for free and a lot of attack and percentage attack for free, what do you think was the most valuable potential line on items? Boss, but the main point of the server was just to level up.
Oh.
But you're in the right direction because boss gets together.
Damage.
Yeah, percentage damage was the most valuable line. Like 10% attack versus 10% damage wasn't even close. Like 10% damage had like 5 times the value of 10% attack.
Okay.
Because it always depends on the balance of these things. That's why you have the WC optimizer, because the computer can tell you, based on the balance that you have right now, with your attack, with your damage, with your IED. Oh yeah, so to finish this, so base percentage attack is how much percentage attack you already have without your weapon, your secondary, and your emblem. So usually your soul, familiars, and echo. And then your base damage is your boss damage and your damage percentage together, either if you want to do this for the burst situation or off burst. And then your base IED is your functional IED. So if you haven't calculated that, you can check the calculator here, or you can find the link. And here you put all of the sources in, and then you get your... But this it's really good to do this one, because a lot of people will have at least one line of IED on their weaponry, secondary, or emblem. And if you do, you can just simply click that one, and then the number will update. And then you know that number, and then you can update it again afterwards. But then you will... wait, did I open that over this? Because this is full screened. Boop, there we go.
So for Kanna's, I mean, I'm sure you've done this like enough times to maybe just give me an eyeball of like what are probably the better lines or something like that. I'm guessing it's all magic, as I can maybe one IED.
If you're mainly focusing on farming, then you just want to go crazy on the magic attack. Yeah, one of IED or any of boss, that only comes into play if you're also going to be bossing.
This is for bossing as well.
Yeah, so there's a difference in a Kanna between bossing and bossing, right? So you can get very far into this game with like a high 80s IED and with like just barely 120% boss, and you can probably get into like hard will and hard lucid parties. But there's a difference between getting into the parties and like being one of the damage dealers is like a big difference.
Like one of the damage
dealers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so then functionally you're probably trying to get to 95 IED, which means that without, you'll probably be around 92. Yeah, that makes sense. And then damage percent, let me look at the progression.
Maybe the Monster Park medal will like get me to 93. That's like...
Yeah, that's going to be 10%. Because I think you're at 4... You'd probably be a little bit on the lower end because I don't know if Kanna gets a lot of percentage damage, so I'm gonna put 400. So boss damage is a little bit tricky because there's also guild skills, right? And if you're in a guild that has a high amount of skill points, then you could get 60% here just from the guild skills, which can pretty much tilt the balance. And there's extra boss rush potions and stuff that you can use that just give you 20% extra. And the difference between using these and not using these, you know?
Yeah. No, guild skills are definitely like a thing.
At least one line, right? At least one line of 30% and then a little bit of the other one.
I have one line of 30% and then one line of 30% critical damage. The critical damage, that's like...
Yeah, that's huge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I saw that in the first test PL server, I was like, they're definitely nerfing that to like 15% or something. But nope, they left it completely untouched, and I was surprised.
I mean, it makes it bad. It makes it feel bad if you're not in a guild, because it's
yeah.
I think it doesn't double your damage. It's like
it's a lot,
if it
dude.
doesn't double your damage, it's getting close. Like.
If you have 100% crit rate, right? That's when it hits you hard. But it is, very, very valuable. Yeah, I mean that's how I was able to solo Lotus and Damien on my Cannoneer at 220 because that just carries you hard.
Jesus, 220. Yeah, I think you solo a lot of bosses at like levels that like I was like trying to get into a party. If that makes any sense, is that normal?
Well, the difference is I've killed that boss probably about 300-400 times at this point with a lot of other characters, so I know the mechanics like in and out. That's a huge advantage that I have. And the other thing is that I have the 8k Legion, so that gives you... The main problem getting into bosses early is getting your critical rate, critical damage, IED, and boss damage, like having those. And with an 8k Legion, with all the level 3 links, that gives you a very solid foundation in all of those lines. So the only thing you have to worry about is getting okay gear and figuring out how your character works and doing a little bit of boost noting. And that's all you need to do. Like I already know the boss mechanics and I have that foundation. So that can get me to the point where I should be, quote unquote, able to kill the boss very quickly.
Okay.
And ping. I have to offset my ping sometimes.
Yeah, no.
Going at like 220, ping in a boss is not always ideal. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like reasonable, but like still, like I don't know. Like
it's also a thing I like. I don't know. So it's fun for me to fail and to keep practicing. It's fun for me. Some people get demoralized very quickly if they can't kill it in the first or second try, and then they just get carried. And I mean that's fine too, but
I definitely saw your easy like Hayato, like easy Cygnus Hayato kill. That was impressive, you know.
Yeah, I got dumpstered, but
I mean, I was watching this like, don't I have a progression vid right now? Like,
yeah.
Oh man, it was fun though.
Yeah, I still had 2 minutes on my drop coupon, so I was like, well, on the off chance that I kill it, I'll get some more drop, but not even close.
With that being said, is going for the requirements for normal Cygnus worth it? I do easy still at the moment.
I always found that normal was mostly valuable. Well, so it used to drop an item that you needed to make your Meister shoulders, but that's completely out of the meta. It has a good drop rate for like the shield recipes. If you ever want to go into any of the other characters, building up some shield recipes is nice. It drops more soul shards. And it used to be the boss in the game with the best drop rate for Meister cubes, but those drop from a lot more bosses now, so that value has decreased a little bit. But it has a good, it has a better drop rate for flames as well than easy. I think you should be able to do normal, yeah.
No, I can solo low main, so
Yeah. You should have no problem. Yeah, I would switch out the easy for the normal there. Yeah, it's a bigger crystal as well. Easy is one of the easiest big crystals to get for sure. Like at a pretty low level, that's what is it, like 40 mil or something? It's pretty crazy how much you can get.
When I got that first chunk, I was like, oh, games.
Yeah, no, it is a lot of money.
Now I'm like, no, I just get them weekly because it's like I feel bad not doing them, but at the same time, it's like I mostly do bosses
23,
like Skull and Pierre. Like the ones for monster shards or something like that. I feel like those are really important, and like Ranmaru for
yeah, exactly, yeah.
For
flames,
like the flame,
yeah,
like that. But again, like if there's ever a day where I don't want to do dailies, bosses are typically the first ones to go to because it's just like I'll just farm for like 30 minutes and watch Scardor stream, and like it'll be a more enjoyable process.
Exactly.
Like, I like the challenging bosses, if that makes any sense. Like that's so obvious, but I don't really like. There's nothing I'm learning or I'm getting out of killing like normal C-Val, if that makes any sense. Like besides a shard.
Yeah.
Because like even the boss crystal, I drop it, right? So it's like
if you kill too many bosses, then you can't even sell them all. Yeah, you run out. You get to 60 before the end of the week. Yeah, the soul shards would be the valuable thing for normal. That's it. Like Queen and Vellum for the shard. That's the thing you can do for the long term, right? If you're trying to go for a Magnificent Soul with 3% magic attack, you might need one roll, but you might need 20 rolls if you get unlucky, right?
No, and like that's a completely like rational thinking, right? Like.
Oh, if you get critical rate there, by the way, that could fix your problems, right? If you're switching over your stats to critical damage and ID, if you get critical rate on your soul, that could be because you can get 12% there. That would be an easy fix.
Yeah, no, and I've gotten that before, actually, but that's never gonna be worth losing 3% max magic attack or something like that.
Well, and you can use it until you get to 8k Legion and you fix your crit situation, right? And then you can switch over to the other one. And then that gives you time to stock up on souls, wait for a Magnificent Soul event, and then reroll after you get your 100% crit, even without the soul.
So what you're saying is, I shouldn't have rolled out of the crit. Oh!
In hindsight, it could have been.
In hindsight,
Well, this is kind of why I always push back when people focus a lot on what is best in slot. Just because something else ends up being better, that doesn't mean that it can't have a more valuable place in the meta until you get there, right? Like people will tell you, like, "Oh, the big bean mark is shit," but I mean, it's part of the set. It can go above 15 stars. Like, it's not worse right now. It only starts getting worse once you start min-maxing your items, and then the sets break up. That's when it gets worse. But until you get to that point, it's actually better. So,
I mean, I don't think I'll ever get the Will accessory or whatever. So there's no.
I mean, the drop rate's going up. You never know about how much, but yeah, it's not looking too likely. That.
I've been playing this game for 3 months. I already know how Nexon is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I started playing, I told this is May of 2016. Okay, so when I started playing again, I was like, okay, so Tyrant gear was the meta. So I already told myself, like, okay, I'm never getting a Tyrant belt to enough stars to be able to be worth wearing it, because you need 100 coins, right, from Magnus to be able to buy one. They can start blowing up past 5 stars, and they would only be worth it compared to a superior belt, which was much easier to get back then. It would only be worth it if I could get past 10 stars, which I calculated is like, there's just no way. So I just completely wrote it off, and I focused on my superior, on my superior Gollux belt, which in 4 cubes got 3-line HP. So I was like, okay, good decision. We'll stick to that forever. Yeah, easy clap. But then the game changed over time, and once I got to that point, I was using 8-star shoe and 8-star cape, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for 10-star on both, which probably means a bunch of booms, bunch of fails, and I had like a bunch of money, and I got the cape to 10, with like I think 4 total fails or something. Like it went up down a few times, and then just went to 10. And the shoes just went from 8 to 10 straight up without any fails. I was like, oh, well now I have all of this, and that's where the lucky star forcing started, I think, and it never stopped. Yeah. I was like, okay, well now I have all this money left, and I don't really have anything else to upgrade, so let's just buy a belt then, I guess. So I bought a belt, and it went up to 8 very quickly, and then went to 9, and then boomed from 9 to 10. And I was like, okay, whatever. But that was very quick, so I was like, I have enough coins, I can just buy another one. And the second one went to 12. And that
okay.
And it went to 10, and I was like, okay, at 10, it's roughly equal to what I have, so I'm gonna go for 11. And then 11 is like, it's a little better, but I would still have to cube it, and that's still a lot of money invested for not that big of an upgrade. So if I really want to make this upgrade, I just have to get it to 12, otherwise it's not worth. And it worked up to 12, so then I was like, well, now fuck, now I have to commit, right?
Right? Because I hammered my Fafnir fan from 17 star to 16 star, and then my offhand Apso is 17 star. So it's just like, all right, if I'm gonna wait for a 5, 10, 15, right? I can I'm at 16 stars already, so it's not gonna matter if I roll it now or I roll it then, right?
As long as you safeguard, no, it doesn't matter. No.
I didn't safeguard. But I rolled it, now I'm 15 stars, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, just 1 star there is not like a huge thing.
Placebo weight. Like,
yeah.
It's not gonna stop me from killing any boss that I could kill anyways.
No, yeah, that's usually what I advocate for. Like, is an upgrade functional, or do you just want to do it, right? Like, is it gonna make your killing on mobs faster? Is it gonna make your killing on a boss significantly faster, or yeah?
Yeah, but isn't enough of them like just gonna get you there? Like, if that makes any sense. Because like
yeah, for sure. But like the difference between having one item that's 15 stars and one item that's 17 stars is negligible in the grand scheme of things. You're not going to kill a boss significantly faster because like missing an extra attack or having one extra dodge or having Damien disappear for 10 seconds in one run compared to the other one is already going to be more of a difference.
No, like completely. But what I'm saying is like those little things just start adding up. And that's how you end up with like a really funded character.
For sure. The little things do end up. But that's why I advocate like bringing all of your sources of damage up like slowly at the same time. Like work a little bit on Legion, work a little bit on your Monster Park progress, work a little bit on your symbols, work a little bit on getting nodes, and train a little bit, right? Do all of it a little bit, and that's going to be better progress than someone like farming super hard, getting like 60 bill, and then getting all of their equips to legendary into 3-line stat, but they have just have CRA gear that's like 11 stars but 3-line potential, and like, man, that's such a waste of money placement. Like, it's not, like at that point you could be getting so much more value out of your money at that point, or out of your time even is usually what I see. But I guess but yeah, so to go back to your WSC, I guess it comes down to 711, 621 seem to be the highest. So this will tell you like how much final damage you gain compared to having no potential whatsoever on those 3 items, basically.
Yeah, I mean, right now I have 600.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Yeah, that won't be on here because it only takes the actual totals of 9.
Yeah, but it's probably, from what I'm guessing, maybe 10th.
Well, you can display top just more, right? You can display top 100 or something.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is 603. This is probably going to be closer to what you have. Like, is it 603 because the ID is going to get diminishing returns pretty quickly.
Okay, so I mean, going for a line of IED is definitely going to be as good as rolling triple magic attack right now.
It seems well, for mobbing it might make a difference, but for bossing it seems that that would be roughly equal, yeah. But you also see the difference, right? So having what you have now, like let's say that what you have now gives you, I don't know, like you can't take these numbers exactly, but let's say it gives you like 92% final damage or something. So to go from 92 to what the best possible thing is 99, that's 7% extra on 92. So that's like
Yeah, but that would be billions. Like, so it's what I get within that combination, pretty much.
that's like 1/5, 1/14th. So that's, well, yeah, 7 on 92. That's a little bit less than 7% total damage, but you can also then check the cubing simulator to see how much that would cost you to get, and that would probably. And
Yeah,
if you
no,
see those numbers, it will shock you.
I
Click here to find out more. Yeah, so a lot of times you could be like, okay, this could be a good measure to see how much potential damage am I missing out, and is it worth it for me to go for it, basically.
I mean, I'm just waiting to roll triple magic attack on my arcane weapon as soon as it gets legendary.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then you can just skip all that bullshit, yeah.
Exactly.
That seems like it seems like a good idea, yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But like, I gotta hope, man. Like, statistically speaking, you're not supposed to roll 5 triple attacks.
No,
within
not statistically, no.
Use. Like, it's not supposed to be a thing.
And I want to correct. I said before that you could roll a bunch of extra boss by getting boss damage on the guild skill and on your weapon and on your secondary, but you can't get boss damage on your secondary. Just want to retract that one real quick, okay, for the attentive people at home who heard that.
No,
I retract that statement.
I got what you meant. I mean, my Haku fan can only have magic attack.
Yep. Even the flame won't count, or the soul. So.
Yeah, even the flame won't matter. So it's like the magic. The soul doesn't affect either, right?
Nope.
So it's just magic attack. So
just full blown magic attack. Yeah, getting that tier 6 there.
If I roll triple magic attack on my main fan, I gotta switch that off to be my offhand, and I gotta reflame my that fan.
Yep.
For it to
you throw a Lucid Soul on there and you switch them out.
Yep. And just another one, you know.
Yeah, just casually. Yeah.
Easy. How long does it take to get Lucid Soul?
Well, once you start doing hard Lucid, the drop rate for the souls is a lot better. You typically, everyone has time to switch to drop rate at the end, and you get 2 or 3 souls, way more than from normal. It's like 0 or 1 most of the time, right? You need to do quite a lot of clears.
Easy, I got 1. So
from easy, yeah. Even from normal, it's not very common to get more than 1. But if you're doing hard, you get 2 or 3.
Okay.
Quite some time. Yeah, the shard drop rate is quite a bit better. Same with like normal, going from normal Lotus and Damien to hard Lotus and Damien. Oh yeah, 2 to 3 from normal, really?
I don't think I'm ready for what's it called, hard Damien, and I don't think I'll ever try hard Lotus, dude. That's.
Did you see my video on YouTube?
Yeah, I saw it, but like, you're an art.
What a shit show. But you saw the Kanna, right? Just try to dodge things, try to weave.
Yeah, no, I saw that, okay? Like, that's not gonna be me. Like, I'm looking at it right there, I'm just like, no.
We were so stressed, dude, that whole time. We had door going in, and yeah.
I mean, Arc has like 20 forms of dashes and stuff like that, and an iframe that like lets you do shit, so it's like
two iframes, actually.
2 iframes? Okay, flex. But like, I don't know shit. So it's like, like in Haku can't do that. Haku can do a lot, man.
It can block some stuff for sure.
But like, Haku does really well in situations where.
I mean, you need your party, dude. You support your party supports you back, and then together you kill it. But yeah, you gotta just go in there and just destroy it as soon as possible.
I mean.
Faster the better.
Are there a lot of hard Lotus parties?
It's typically you just start doing hard Lucid, right? And then if the party's ready and high enough level and everything, then you start doing hard Will as well. And once you get all of those down, then either some people of the party or the full party also does hard Damien. But typically, once you're like ready for hard Lucid and hard Will, you can like split off into 2 parties and do like 3-man for hard Damien, because hard Damien is pretty simple. It's basically just normal Damien, but with like 12 times the HP or something. That's all. But once you have a party that just drops hard Lucid very quickly and drops hard Will very quickly, then you can start doing Lotus, like practicing.
I mean, because you need
Yeah.
the eye accessory or like the face accessory, one of the two, right? For Damien.
Yeah, well, yeah. So basically, people have either like 20 or 21 star monocles already, or they'll have transposed monocles at that amount of star force. So even if you get Berserk, even if you get the Magic Eyes patch, even if you get the belt, like you're gonna try to get them to 21 before you would even consider switching. So it
Yeah.
would basically do the same thing as I did with my belt. You would just keep going. With my superior belt, you just keep going, and if it gets there, then you switch, and if it doesn't get there, then big poohoo, like you already have something stronger to fall back on anyway. Because the set bonus isn't that great. It's nice, but it's not that great because we have Gollux already, and Gollux is OP as fuck.
So how relevant is Meso the later the game goes? Because I'm guessing you're just waiting on drops a lot of the times, and like Meso just.
Well, people just farm for their drops, right? Through getting the droplets. That's why they keep their Kannas at the level that they do, so that they can farm more items.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what it looks like it's gonna turn out to be, because it's like.
Well, hopefully not as bad, right? Because the drop rate for the equips should go up this winter as well.
That's true, but what's it called?
The average amount of booms actually isn't that bad. So if you get remotely lucky, you'll only have like 1 or 2 booms in getting like the whole set to 20 or 21. If you get unlucky, you have like 10 or so, and then you're just in it for the long ride. But if you get even slightly lucky, you could get there pretty quickly. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
That's what I'm hoping for when it comes to Abso and weeklies, right? Just do the weeklies on 5 characters for like 5 or 6 weeks, and I save a ton of money on like transfer hammering and a lot of like unnecessary luck that I need for 21 star.
Yep.
Because from 20 to 21 star, you like start having like a 33% chance of a boom or something like that.
No, it's 7%, but
7% chance you're rolling it 3 times.
For every time. So the total chance of blowing up from 20 to 21 no. The chance of blowing up from 20 to 22 is about 38%. And blowing up from 21 to 22 is about 28%. But from 20 to 21 is kind of free. Like there's less chance of booming from 20 to 21 than there is to boom from 19 to 20, right? Because you can't drop down and then have to go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why people always yell like 20 to 21 is free. Because comparatively to everything you've had to go through to get there, it is kind of free. But, it's nothing is ever free. Like you can still blow the fuck up and then you're reset back to start. Yeah.
Isn't your shoulders like free though?
My shoulder on my hero blew up 20 to 21, and I think I blew a cape on my marksman 20 to 21. But so that's with blowing from 20 to 21 on a marksman, and I still managed to get all the way up to all of them 21 in that money.
Okay, I mean, when I start star forcing, my CRA is going first, most definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But for both my hero and my marksman, I went full 20-star Abso with still 17-star CRA, and then I was like, maybe I should do CRA as well.
Wait, that wasn't smart.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I had enough backup. So an event later, I got all of my CRA on my hero to 21. So I guess maybe I'll do that on my marksman on a 5, 10, 15. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
We got like thousands of coupons back up anyway, so yeah, just no risk there.
I think that's pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, everything and more.
Sorry for it taking a long time. Kinda.
It's fine, but I think we covered everything. I think you had like a general idea of most stuff, but it's always good to have it confirmed and to know that you're not wasting your time on something.
Is there anything that I should really focus on first, or like anything that you'd like recommend, like me queuing before I start saving for Star Force or anything along the lines of that?
No, I would say just probably good to just physically just make a list, like either in like a doc or just write it down of like your dailies that you could do, and just for each one of them just like jot down for yourself like how important is this one, which one has priority, and then the only thing that would be left to do is whenever there's an event that you would have to like look at the possible gains from the event, put it next to your priority list, and see if that changes your priority list temporarily, because there's a good chance that it will.
Yeah,
that's just pretty important. And I guess do the functional ID check to make sure that you know what number you're working with exactly. Other than that, in general, it would just be like save up and then make sure you get your weeklies done for the stuff, and then work on your CRA and your Absolab, slowly star forcing them up, I would say.
I mean,
and safeguard, please safeguard on things that don't have backups. Okay, stop risking booms,
bro.
Because it's gonna keep happening. Okay.
Okay, the only thing, I mean, you can't safeguard after 17 star anyways, right?
No, yeah. But up
who cares?
But up to there, no. But your superior ring and like risking it on your weapon, like.
Okay, but I'm transfer hammering with superior ring now. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's safe for now. Okay,
but it slows down your progress to your reinforced ring, right?
So there's nothing I can transfer hammer for my reinforced ring, right?
Solid ring.
That was solid, but like I'm not.
Yeah. No, solid would be the only thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I already boomed one, right? Like,
well, yeah, but
is booming another one or like?
But if you didn't boom the superior ring, then with the next coins you could have bought your belt and gotten the set complete, you know.
I know. I know.
Just saying. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, it comes.
I mean, yeah, but like I'll get the belt like from a drop within. I don't know. How long does it take to get the drop?
I don't know, man. There was someone in chat yesterday who said he run 40 runs so far and he didn't get anything. So.
I have the earrings already, so it's just a belt. Like.
Yeah, how hard could it be? Famous last words.
I mean, no, like really though. To be fair, okay, to be 100% like fair, I got carried for pretty much my first ring, so I've only been doing Helix for about like 20 like real runs or whatever, right? So maybe it's just bad karma, you know? Maybe. Like because I was getting carried.
Yeah.
It's actually
definitely what it is.
It's actually meant to be like the game, like because like all right. A lot of people are like against carrying or something like that. I'm not. I'll take it, man. If you can give me a gloom carry, I don't even know what it drops. I'll take it. But like, I don't know anybody at that point, so I'm just like.
You gotta survive gloom long enough, though. That's gonna.
Haku will save me, like.
Haku saves you from a lot of things, but gloom just stomps on Haku, I think.
Haku will save me, man. But like.
No, I think the dislike for carries goes a little bit far for some people. I think in general, if you have like a carry seeking mentality, that just leads you to like being dependent on other people a lot. And then when that disappears, the people that you can rely on, that leaves a lot of people with like a hole of not being able to, or like, you know, like that mental block that you were talking about before, where you have that mental block where you feel like now you can't do anything anymore, and that kind of just like stops people from playing or from being able to progress. Whereas instead,
I think it's the other way around though, because it's like, all right, you get a carry for CRA.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're able to get stronger. Now you're like, it's a better equip. It's a permanent equip. So like, you're able to Star Force it. You're able to roll it. You're able to do a lot of things, right?
Well, you wouldn't really have the money to do that, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm a Kanna, so like,
yeah, you have that a little bit more, yeah. But a lot of people will get CRA and it'll be really strong set. But they won't really be able to upgrade it to the point where it's really important to. But if you get there more organically through like struggle parties or through duos or whatever, at that point, everything else has all kind of reached its purpose. So your money's been saving up. And then once you get the CRA gear, you can immediately dump money into it and get more potential out of it. And then that'll set you up for doing the same thing with Lotus and Damien. Because what I see is a lot of people that get carried in CRA, they get that short boost, then they just grind, they neglect their gear again, then they get to Lotus and Damien. Well, then they have to get carried again, and then the circle starts all over.
Oh, okay. So I guess what I'm saying is like there's like a missing step in there. It's like you get carried for CRA, then you grind, and then you spend that meso or like that coins like on it to be able to do like Damien or Lotus like struggle parties or something like that, and then you move forward.
Yeah. No, that's possible, but I don't see a lot of people doing struggle Damien Lotus party who already got carried before as well. Usually they just save up points in their guild and get carried there as well. And then what ends up happening, they're like level 240 or something, and they got carried on everything. All of their stuff is like basically where your stuff is, and then the next step is giant amounts of star forcing or giant amounts of cubing, which would only be possible with giant amounts of farming that they don't feel like doing, and then there's nothing left to do in the game, and they just kind of like.
It's the mechanics that's like the thing that like is just a bottleneck too, right? Because it's like
it can be, yeah. Some people just have like bad internet, or you have bad computer or stuff. Then the only way to like get the gear is by getting carried. Yeah.
I mean,
That's the thing.
yeah, I think carries are like a necessary evil for like guilds, and that's at the same time like because it like they want people to join and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Calyx is not a difficult boss. It's just like a stat check, to be honest with you.
Well, I think it's good now that you can just party Helix and you don't have to fight over the coins. I think that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
and like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see that much of an issue like getting carried for Helix because it's like it's not a difficult boss. It's just whether you have the stat to be able to kill it or not.
Well, it'll be more difficult to get carries now because it's 1 run a day, right? So a lot of people will want to save their run.
It was 2 runs a day?
No, it used to be up to 6 runs a day.
Oh man.
So you
I
could
just
carry
picked
like
it up.
you could carry 5 people and then complete your own run in the last one technically. Before.
Oh man, I've been picking the wrong. I picked the wrong time to start this game. Like
Yeah.
clearly it was like 2 years ago. That would have been the right time for the pack and everything.
Well, I started about 4 years ago before 5th job, and I think learning how strong your character is and like how much you have to progress to get to certain points, that way before 5th and everything, I think that laid like a very good foundation of like patience and being able to value upgrades and that kind of stuff, compared to
I
yeah.
come from RuneScape and League, so like I have a completionist cape in RuneScape, and I played that game for like years. So like I'm super comfortable to grinding for like endless amounts of
I
hours.
see, I see, yeah.
Like, no
Yeah, that's not
problems.
the grinding. The pure grinding aspect is not something that I aim for.
Yeah, I mean it's typically like okay, so like I don't try to do like active grinding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy CLP. I really enjoyed like Rev 3 because I can just catch up on work, and then I can also feel like I'm contributing like at least a little bit. I feel like a lot of people don't take advantage of those times where they could be doing two things at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah, that's what I like to aim for.
I mean, like, if I can, I'll do like a side path for like 2, 3 hours. But if not, like, I'll just do CLP. Like, I have 2 totems left that are gonna expire like after this, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
do
play
you?
for
I didn't see those. Do you have actual totems? Oh, you
wild
had two
totem.
wildlands. What is it called?
Yeah, yeah. I have the Billy and the Farlands ones or whatever.
Afterlands. That's Afterlands. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have like the black ones or anything. There's nothing I can do about it either, right?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things like with the heart, you just wait until event comes around and then you pounce on it, and otherwise you just sit there and just FOMO your way through it.
I mean, is there anything I should like? There's nothing that's gating me from doing hard well, right? Like besides my own gear and stuff like that. Like the totems won't
For
give me
for
that.
for Kanna, no, like it's mainly level for attackers. It's mainly the level. You want to be at least like 247 up to 255 to do will. Otherwise, you get too much damage reduction. But for the Kanna, your main purpose is the support anyway, so you can be lower level. It doesn't really hurt you at all.
Uh, is there any time where I like roll my glove or something? Because you're looking at it right now. I'm just like, oh, do I roll it?
Well, the double crit damage is very good, but this is mainly when we talk to that. Well, what we talked about, right? When you come to that point where you become more of the damage dealer, when you work on those extra 2 boost nodes, when you start getting past like 18, 19 star Abzo, that kind of stuff, then you can start thinking about, because then you'll also be higher level, you have more room in your matrix, then you can equip decent sharp eyes, and then you can roll out of this without it coming at a cost of a matrix slot, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've had decent sharp eyes equipped this entire time. I just got the glove like for that specific role like
Mm-hmm.
a couple days ago. So
No, that's
you don't
fine.
need.
With double crit damage eventually with black cubes would be a good upgrade. And comparatively, like it's an upgrade before you go to like min max your weapon, your emblem, and your secondary. Typically, it's just before that.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is cheaper than going for like 3 line or 3 useful lines on WSC.
Okay, so it like for the maxing, is there anything that's like because I thought the first thing that I would min max after 20. Okay, so my goal was 20 stars, Star Force, 24 on all my equips
Yeah.
plus,
Mm-hmm.
because like that allows for 6% all stat to like slide in or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
then roll my emblem and then roll my glove or something along the lines of that. Roll my emblem, roll my weapons, and then roll my gloves. I thought the gloves would be the last thing. But it's
Oh
such a
yeah, I would switch them around. Do glove first, but the for the glove as well is that you're going to be rolling with black cubes. So what you can do is just say like, oh, I'm just going to roll 2 bill of black cubes now, and just see if I get it. If you don't get it, it's whatever. You can always fall back to what you have. But for the emblem, you have to commit harder in going like full red cubes, and then you can't just like settle halfway there, right? Because you lose a fuck ton of damage. So that's like the main difference why the upgrade is a little bit different.
So emblem, it's 100%. Emblem is 100% like what's it called?
Red cube?
Red cube.
Yeah, full red cube. That yeah. The average cost of getting something remotely to what you're looking for with red cubes is way higher than if you go for black cubes. Yeah.
What about black cubes on like gloves then? Like why is that like a
Because you're looking for double crit damage, which are both prime lines, and prime lines have. So if you're using red cubes, you have 100% for prime line on the first line, 10% on the second, and 1% on the third. And if you're using a black cube, you have 100% on the first line, 20% on the second line, and 2% on the third. So that significantly increases your chances enough to get the double percent crit damage, and it makes more sense to go for full black cubes to roll it. Like on average, it becomes way cheaper.
Oh.
So if
Wow.
you'd be looking for 33% magic attack on your emblem, then that would also be better to use black cubes there. But that's if you already have everything 30 and like completely decked out and you're trying to improve upon that.
I mean that makes a lot of sense actually. Cool. Is there anything like min-maxy that I should know? Because I feel like these min-maxy things are like the reason why like I got this, because like I got this whole thing because it's like though that's the differences between like 300 and like 800 hours.
Oh yeah. Well, the other thing will be if you want to optimize your burst damage, then you want to get an Oz ring.
What is that?
Do you know what Temple of Oz is? Tower of Oz? It's a special content that you can access through I'm pretty sure it's through the dimensional mirror, right? Where basically you have like a bunch of jump quests and puzzles and bosses that you can kill. And after, with the intermediate bosses and the intermediate floors, you will get boxes that can contain rings, and these rings give like insane damage boosts for a short period of time. And if you combine that with your burst damage and with your party and with your domain and everything, it will increase your damage like by an insane amount. And it can be very tedious. For a long time, you can get very shitty items from it, right? You can get very low-level rings, and then the further you go, the higher the quality of the boxes and the higher the quality of the items in it. Yeah, Tower of Oz is through the dimensional mirror.
So when do you recommend doing that?
Probably after you get those extra level 25 nodes, and yeah.
So it's like a far away thing. It's not like
yeah, it's basically like, let's say that you roll like 40 IED 9/9 on your emblem, something like that. And maybe your weapon has like 26% magic attack and a line of intellect or something. You know, you're like close to hitting. Like the next upgrade would be to 3-line everything. Then you can, at that point, Oz comes into play where it basically takes care of that upgrade and some more on all your equips if you would roll it there.
Okay.
But it's when you become that big damage dealer, right? Because it only comes in hard and counts if you are doing that big damage. And the more you're doing, the more it gets multiplied and the better it becomes.
Okay. I'll definitely have to look at that end because I'm getting really tired now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Sorry it took so long and everything like that.
Yeah, no problem. For Oz, if you look at there's a big Dexless guide on Dexless.com, very long guide on like all the floors. In the beginning, there's going to be a lot of information, but once you play through it a few times, you'll just easily just skip through the first 20 floors. Like it'll, a lot of the stuff becomes, and then there's like 1 or 2 or 3 floors that are very important that you might need some information for. Like there's a jump quest where the platforms are invisible, for example. Like at the first like 10 times or something, it's very annoying, but after a while you just know where they are, and yeah, it just becomes easy.
So do I just add that to the rotation of dailies? Is it like a daily or a weekly thing?
You can clear a certain amount of platforms per day, I think. A certain amount of floors per day in total that you want. Yeah, people start doing that usually around like 250, 255s when they start adding it to their rotation. Before that, it could be something like if you're, let's say you're a little bit burned out on training, on grinding, and you don't want to work on your Legion, you can just do that for a bit. It's like a nice change of pace.
Okay. Okay. No. Definitely. I'll have to look more into that. For Lachlan floor, what floor am I supposed to be at? I'm at 90.
That sounds great. Yeah, I was gonna think 80 at least was what I was gonna guess. Yeah, if you're at 90, that sounds fine. Usually when I, like with all my characters so far that I've pushed up to 100, usually I'm at 100 for maybe like 2 weeks and then I max out the symbol. But that was without the, yeah, and that was without the extra daily kill as well. So usually I'm at 90 for a long time, 80 or 90, yeah.
I think I can push 100, honestly.
Well, you have the guild skills now, right? This was also before the 30% critical guild skill. That probably helps you quite a lot in pushing beyond that.
Yeah. I had no issue getting to 90. It wasn't like,
yeah.
It wasn't 90 like high diff. It was like 90.
Yeah, because my with guild skills, my cannoneer can push 70 now at 220. So I guess with like max boost nodes and everything, and actually leveling and gearing him, yeah. Yeah, no, maybe it is more reliable to get to 100. Just make sure you can always clear at that next multiple of 10. Otherwise, you're kind of like cheating yourself.
So the way I do it is at reset, I will like carry Helix, and I'll use my guild skills, and I'll pot up and everything like that. And it'll give me the reason to pot up and everything, because if I'm carrying, I want to do it as quickly as possible, and then I'll quickly do latch.
Yeah.
And then break or something like that.
And
I think that's the highest. What's the highest floor that you can get stuck at, or like you can keep using?
You can keep going forever. I think the people who clear the highest floors clear like 200 and 201, I think.
Yeah, but you can start at 90, right, or like something like that. What's the highest like start? Is what I'm saying.
Just anything that you can divide by 10. So you could start at 200.
It goes to like 190, 200.
Yeah. It just keeps going all the way.
0. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the call and everything.
Yep. No problem. Thanks for the dono, and I hope you can use all the information.
All right, and I'll call you back like 4 months later once I'm hardware ready.
Yeah, exactly. You can show off all of your drops that you've already gotten and your will book and everything.
Oh no, please don't say that.
I don't know, man. The drop rate's gotta go up, maybe, man. You might be the only mage in the party, and the mage book might drop, and you'd be my yoink.
Yo, if I get the mage book in the CPOM mark by the next time we do this.
You're gonna be flaming those like crazy, though.
No, I don't want to, dude. How much does it cost for a Dominator Flames? For like the good flames to transpose it to.
How much is that? Oh, dude, I don't know that range. Like some people might get what they need in one bill, and then I know Doof spent like 70 bill on one item to get a good flame.
What's the settle?
Between like 105 and 115 is typically where people settle like flame score.
Okay, cool. That was the last thing I needed to know.
Yep.
Yeah, I wrote a list. By the way, I didn't want to interrupt you. I do have a list for my dailies, and I did have a list of things to ask you about, like just the general game progression and stuff like that. I got all my questions answered and everything like that.
Great.
I was making them off while I was doing this. All right, thank you.
All right, no problem, dude. And best of luck.
Okay.
And
bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.